What's up, everybody? Hello and welcome to a special edition on the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast YouTube channel. It is the incarnation of Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins action figures. I am your host, the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers, the artist formerly known as Curt Hawkins.
And I'm your host, the Deathmatch King, the Indie God, the Internet Champion, always ready, Matt Cardona, FKA Zack Ryder. Rest in peace, broski.
Oh my God, you let that happen on this show?
You're like Cody and Stardust.
This isn't an indie graphic. I won't let it happen on indie graphic.
Okay, but if you do it, it's okay. Sure. Hey guys, I'm also here to produce the show, Smart Mark Sterling. This is all new.
The artist formerly known as Raw Extra Talent.
That's true. Yeah, there was no figures made of Smart Mark Sterling, the Raw talent, but I am excited for this. Because I think just like many of the viewers today, I know some of these things. I have no idea the way they went, the order they went, how you guys felt about them. I know Broski's got somewhere between 4 and 50 Mattel figures. Who knows?
Not that many.
A couple hidden gems along the way here.
I'm along for the ride, as are all of the viewers here on YouTube and audio. So,
well, first and foremost, we want to say thank you to all our listeners and viewers. We promised this special incarnation a very long time ago. Took a long time to get done. We wanted to do it right, do it proper, have our examples at our sides, right? And here we are today. So we're all thrilled to finally get this done.
Well, we said this was for 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes.
We're a little late.
Well, maybe we originally said 110,000 because we just hit that.
That's boom. That's what we really meant. We wanted.
Yes, exactly.
And we're going to set a new goal for the incarnation of Brian and Matt. Actually,
111,000.
For those who don't know, the incarnation of domination. Let's let everyone know. You're going to get all the incarnations of these figures, all the Zacks, all the Curts. Our man D Freedom got us the nice images. We'll show the men on card images, and then Brian and I will go through our loose collection. Tell you our feelings about each figure. If there's a backstory, maybe if there was a prototype versus the actual release figure. So we'll do a little deep dive on all that. So. Yeah, should we start with Jax? I mean, should we start?
I mean, I think what we really have to start with is the idea of becoming a professional wrestler. And you have your bucket list achievements, things you want to, do in your career. And obviously for us, I think for anybody, an action figure is on that list, right? Because I think even like somebody with a black heart like Nick Nemeth, even he kind of thinks that's cool, right? But for us, this is exceptionally exciting. You and I are very different. But let's take a step back to what that was like for us, the very first time. I mean, we've been so fortunate. It's happened many a times for us since then. But you always remember your first.
Well, even before you go back, let me ask you guys this. Do you think that there would be Zack and Curt without wrestling action figures, right? So like even going back, you guys have said it before, your love of fig feds and creating these things is sort of what really made you obsessed with wrestling. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely brought it to a whole new level for sure, because it wasn't just watching it, on Mondays or Saturday mornings with the figures. You could create your own federations and keep it going every single day of the week. And then, fantasy book, make your own champions, your own storylines. So the action figures definitely played a huge role in my childhood and then my teenage years and into college and, even today.
Yeah, I've always said WWF Hasbro was just like the gateway to my wrestling fandom because it took something off the screen and put it in my hands. And like Matt said, puts you in charge. Your imagination has almost no limit when it comes to something like that. I guess the kind of weird thing that I guess Matt and Matt kind of half admitted to just now is like, okay, so we've loved wrestling figures our whole life, WWF Hasbro and on, and we've collected every incarnation and play with every incarnation. Now we are WWE superstars. At the time there's Ruthless Aggression action figures produced by Jax, and there's no doubt we had these and played with them. You know what I mean?
Oh, I definitely had a Ruthless Aggression
now you're
fig
becoming
fan.
one.
That's why I love the Ruthless Aggression figures so much, and why I do have one of each character is because it's a weird time where not only do we have the figures, we're in the lineup, but I was collecting / playing with them, whether I want to admit it or not, beforehand. So I
Right.
love the ruthless aggression style of figures. It might be my favorite style of figures.
Wow. I mean, I do like that they're larger than life to a degree, but not overly done like a Maximum Sweat guy or something like that,
Right.
where it's not realistic at all. Everyone's kind of a little more bulked up than they should be, but that there's something about action figures I think that makes that kind of fun and, romantic, that all figures are a little beefed up.
Yeah, these there's so many of them that hold up to the point where you'd be proud to have a lot of these on your shelf still.
Listen,
they're epic.
I still believe that the Jax real scan
Yeah, man.
is better than what Mattel does right now with the Triple H spit.
Industry
Paint app.
standard, pal. It's industry standard.
And listen, there's no denying Mattel, especially Elites and Ultimates, have way better playability, way better for figure photography. But I think that a ruthless aggression figure is the best for playing. Even though you can make weird poses, it's almost too hard. They get all wonky with an Elite.
There was something I think like about ruthless aggression figures when they came out that I was like, oh my god! And especially it was kind of coincided with us learning how to wrestle, and I would always kind of justify it as like, well, I'm trying to like figure out spots and where I should be in the ring and if this move would work, and then like having a ruthless aggression figure and doing that, So I'm like playing with them, but I'm not. Like at that point, maybe I don't have a fig fed, but I'm definitely like,
Oh, I'm doing Kidman's IC champ.
really? Like I don't think
Kidman's
I'm
getting the
fig-fed,
shove.
but I'm definitely messing around with these figures and playing with them a little bit more than I probably should have been.
All right. So, do you remember, when we first saw the figures? Or obviously, we debut, for those who don't know, May 1st, 2007, Major Brothers, and at that time, everybody and their mother was getting a ruthless aggression figure. So I'm thinking, of course, the Majors are going to get one, like Gemini, Pirate Paul Burchill, Sylvester Sakai.
It wasn't an unrealistic goal at the time. Whereas now, if someone with as little or as unexciting TV time as the Major Brothers have, you're like, okay, they're like, Gallows and Anderson have been back 2 years. They haven't even sniffed a figure yet. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be seen and be in the mix to kind of justify being on the pegs nowadays. Back then, it was like, you just need to be on the roster. So, like,
you debut, you're getting a fig.
We're 21, 22 when we debut on TV, and we're like, oh my God, we're going to get Ruthless Aggression X figures. This rules.
So you said May 2007, this Ruthless Aggression line, when does it start exactly?
Spring
that first?
03, because it has Cena's and everybody's first figure. So
I want to say it's 02, 03.
it has to be 03 because all those figures depict 02. So 03, I would say, is
D Freedom's nodding yes. So
my senior year. It's my senior year of high school, our senior year of high school.
got it.
Spoiler, guys, we don't get Major Brothers, but I do. I'll talk about it after we do Hawkins Ryder. I have some evidence that maybe we were gonna.
Evidence. All right. Well, so at the time, we have a very, like I said, unexciting run as the Major Brothers, and quickly pivoted to the Edgehead run that we've, talked about in detail. Forever grateful to Uncle Adam and the experience that, we were able to have with him. And then we knew, like, we're freaking made men now.
We're a treacherous trio.
Yeah. And I think, like, we kind of willed this treacherous trios into existence because at the time, there was 3 packs exclusive to Toys R Us. And sometimes they were like a match, like a triple threat, or like in this case, a stable that made sense or whatever. Or, actually, sometimes they made no sense at all. But I think we kind of really like willed this into existence that this would be it. And at the time, our friend Todd worked at Ringside Collectibles, and Ringside Collectibles worked hand in hand with Jax, obviously, because they were a distributor. He was able to secure like the hand-painted prototypes way before anything else was out there. And
Right.
this is like super marky. When I was on the road in my bedroom, I had set up at the time. Think about this: 2008. I'm in the WWE. I'm in the Edgeheads, main eventing every night, doing all this crazy stuff around the world. But in my bedroom, I had a Jax Raw ring, a Jax SmackDown ring, and a Jax ECW ring. And at any time a guy I would have one of each guy in their respective brands.
I had the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, lined up my room as like a decoration. Like that's how proud I was to be a wrestling figure fan and a WWE superstar. So then I came home from the road. I'll never forget it. You're tired, delirious. I don't know where I flew in from. And I was like dropping my stuff off in my room, and I did like a quadruple take, and I could tell like Paul and Todd were kind of like clocking me to like see what I was doing, and he had snuck my Curt Hawkins hand painted prototype in the SmackDown ring. And I was like, what? And that was the first time I ever saw it.
Well, I think we saw photos before that because I remember being on an overseas tour with WWE, and I feel like the Edgeheads had already ended, because figures take time to come out. And this was in I want to say it's like the fall 2008. We see photos, and we're on an overseas tour. Jax had sent them to us. I remember I got them and showed them to you. And
it was like an old school email where we had to wait for it to download.
Yeah.
Like one bar at a time where it's like revealing the picture.
I was so pumped to get it. Yeah. Obviously it's a dream, lifelong dream, but to have it actually become a reality is something completely different. So
the gear looks awesome. I'm looking at this picture. I'm gonna be honest with you. Who's who?
Really? Oh, so I beg to differ. Up close, like if you see mine, I think
let's go full screen on Brian.
Might be one of the best scans of all time. Like obviously, I'm a little bit older now. This is
okay,
borderline 20 years ago. But
all
I
right,
thought
so do you have broskies?
Scan
well, check me out and look. Check this out right here, guys.
Like
I was supposed to come with a beanie, a soft goods beanie that was obviously scrapped, but I have it. This is the hand painted prototype right here, which obviously hand painted prototypes get way more detail. Like that is my mean face right there.
Yes, 100%. Okay, the close ups you can tell that packaging picture. It was just basically the same face.
Well, Mark, that was the gimmick of the Edgeheads. We were supposed to be Edge doppelganger, so
right.
I was devastated that I didn't actually come with the beanie, but I'm glad that the prototype at least has it, and I'm glad that Jax was able to get it to us. Because now Mattel, you don't get stuff from Mattel prototype-wise. No way. No way.
Also, what is that, Brian? There's different wrist tape.
Uh-oh.
What are you talking about?
Wait, those are two mats. That's what
those are two mats.
Oh, I'm like, what the heck?
Ha-ha!
Okay.
See?
Now,
threw me off for a second.
If you hold up your Brian, that's your factory Brian?
Yeah, this is a real Brian.
Now look at the extra detail like on the kick pads from the prototype,
right? Yeah,
right?
like the lines. Yeah, I don't have that.
So
nothing even on the back. It's called cost cutting in the business.
Cost cutting. So prototypes are always way, way better.
Because prototypes like
the back of the
what they wished it to be, right?
Right.
But yeah, so Toys R Us exclusive 3-pack. I mean, I would go to Toys R Us. And I mean, I would never leave one of these on the pegs. I would just get them,
Did you see them a lot?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's interesting with Toys R Us and stuff back then. Guys in AEW, even now saying like they've never seen their figure, on the pegs. It's like it's hit or miss.
Well,
nowadays,
I do think it's cool that Toys R Us still exists in Canada and they carry AEW figures, so you can kind of go there and have like half a moment. I would say,
right,
live that experience for sure.
Now, we don't have proof of this, and this is what I was alluding to earlier, but I have a gut feeling that maybe we were slotted as the Major Brothers because the heads could have been these Major Brother heads.
I feel like I remember getting scanned as the Major Brothers.
Yeah.
And I mean, in this Edgehead run, I pretty much only like wore my hair in like a ponytail. And like this looks looks more like Brian Major to me and Brett Major.
Well, this is what I was going to show you guys.
We're being sticklers.
This is a test shot. It has obviously the either Brett Major or Zack Ryder head on a Matt Striker with Trunk's body, which would work.
Which would have made sense. Yeah.
Would have made sense for a Major Brother. But who knows? This could have, how these test shots are. Somebody could have just put parts together, right? Totally. So I'm just speculating right now. But in my heart of hearts, I want to believe
that we were like an adrenaline set or something.
Yeah. Listen, they made everybody. I mean, you could count probably on one hand who they didn't make. You know what I'm saying? From that era.
Dude, it's slim. Like,
I think maybe they missed the heartthrobs and that's it.
Like maybe. Yeah.
They made Highlanders.
The dicks and the heartthrobs. Like who got like screwed?
They made Colin Delaney.
Heartthrobs were only
Gunner Scott got screwed.
Gunner Scott. They made Pirate Paul Burchill. They made the Ripper Paul Burchill.
Dude, Sylvester Turkai.
But all those guys were longer, like at least a year. Heartthrobs were literally only 8 months. Dicks were not.
Marcus Corvan. I mean, that's a short. Like the Turkai's a short run. Corvan's a short run.
It's a lot of short runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, just a dream. Literally a dream come true. It's the coolest thing.
Did we say Toys R Us exclusive?
I've said that several times.
And I will say this: it's a pain in the ass to get now because the box is so big.
It's a heavy, big bubble.
It's hard to get absolutely minty.
But I think that what I love about it really is that it's like it's us and Edge. It's just so cool. You know, for your first thing, I think it's just, you know, I think I'd much rather this than a Brian Major like in a single carded in the Ruthless Aggression series. You know, there's so much more about this that's special to me.
And not to spoil the whole episode, but our first figure, Edgeheads, our last WWE figure, Edgeheads.
I was literally just going to say that.
Pretty wild.
That is cool, and that just popped in my mind right now.
Yeah.
Really neat.
All
Until
right,
you guys go back on your
course.
Legends deal very soon and
God, we'll have so much stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have these little guys, the Build and Brawls. Through this episode, I'm realizing I don't have a lot of these loose. So here's a Mint on Card boy right there.
You don't? So you don't have this like on display?
I have it on display in the box.
What
I display
is
all
this?
my stuff Mint on Card.
So Build and Brawl was a concept from Jax. They're obviously scaled down. Here's your comparison.
Okay.
Same articulation and stuff as a
Yeah.
a deluxe figure. Even has like the ab crunch or whatever. They were scaled down figures, I guess for easier play. I don't know. They were hit for a little bit and quickly faded. I believe our line is like one of the lines, the first lines where it like was kind of just fell off the rails.
It's Sergeant Slaughter, Santino Marella, Kofi Kingston, Curt Hawkins, Zack Ryder, and Rey Mysterio. You can build an elimination chamber. Is that what?
Yeah, but like every set was different. Like this one came with pieces of the chamber. Other ones came with a ring, like things like that you could build. So pretty fun, I think, concept.
Yeah.
But just it didn't catch on, I would say.
Is that 6 on the package? Series 6?
Series 6. Right.
So I hated this gear. And let's just say this. These come out, Edgeheads are done. Like, the run is over. Like, we're Hawkins and Ryder, but the Edgeheads, we're not with Edge anymore.
Right.
Okay.
So, like, at this point, we're not doing anything on TV. You know, if these come out.
When these come out, we're just like floundering big time.
Right.
So you're not in the elimination chamber that year?
Definitely not.
No. I don't even think we get sent to it. But I hate this gear. And, you know, we'll talk about it later. I have 2 figures in this gear. I wore it one time. It was a one-time wear. And not like, oh, my God, this is so special. I'm going to only wear it once. It was I hated it so much that I only wore it once.
And I don't
And
know.
becomes
I mean,
2 figures.
Yeah, I don't know how that happens, to be honest with you.
Because Broski went and took a ton of still photos.
Well, we always do that because we're professionals, but yeah.
Right.
I don't remember these coming out second, but if D Freedom says it does, then
So in my mind, the deluxe is next, and then these like slowly trickled. I also want to say these were Toys R Us exclusives as well. I can't. I could be wrong about that. I don't want to, but I remember that's the only place that we were able to find them.
hey, I'm honored that we're included in the line, and I'll take any figure they make.
No, of course, and it's just another one. And here's a fun little tidbit for everyone out there. I had this on my wedding cake, and I got a little figure of the Little Mermaid, so it looks like my wife next to me, and it was on top of our wedding cake.
That's cool. Did you make that yourself, or did somebody do that?
I did. I mean, I just did it for fun. I thought it was cool.
For my Mint on Card collection, I have to count this Hawkins because I feel like it goes with the Zack Ryder. Now, for instance, in a later Elite line, I don't need the Curt Hawkins because it doesn't go with the Zack Ryder, but this one does. So I feel like I have to have it.
How many Primo figures do you have then?
There's no Primo and
no
I in the
DZP?
same, but not in the same line, not in the same set.
Okay.
Oh, it has to be in the same set.
Yeah, the same set.
DZP,
I don't know, but
bro.
if you tag with him
No,
and he comes out in that gear,
well, that didn't happen. So
Okay, all right.
didn't happen. Let's go to the next one, guys. In my opinion, our first solo figure,
it is.
Deluxe Aggression, Jack
Nailed my
specific.
physique. So,
real lean. Yeah.
so jacked.
Here's mine right here.
Look at those quads. Nailed it.
To have our first ever solo figure.
I know, bro.
Really,
Hates
really
this
cool.
figure. I love it. I think mine is like.
I fucking hate it, and I'll explain why.
I think mine is like flawless. This is the gear
I'm
that
so mad about
This
mine.
is the gear that I wore most of the Edge run, post not trying to look like Edge anymore. You know, they told us eventually, like, we want you guys to be, you know, stars on your own and have people be able to differentiate you guys. So I switched to trunks. Broski switched to long tights.
Did you guys have a discussion about that? Where you're like, I want to wear trunks.
Yeah, totally. Like, it was like on purpose, you know, because we were tired of people just calling us the Edgeheads, even backstage. You know, people didn't even know our names.
The two Edge guys?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I think that was like pretty much, you know, the moment that sealed the deal. But
So yeah, this is like Brian said, this is the gear I wore the most in theory. But if you look inside the crotch here, if you look at the side logos, they're all in blue. It should be purple. I wore purple, and I feel like they just matched me to Brian, which really devastated me, really pissed me off.
and like this particular figure, man, I bought hundreds of these cases.
I still have some.
Really? Oh man, I have none. I mean, I've handed them out to everybody and friends and family, and I was just so proud to be, you know, an action figure.
This is the hand-painted prototype where it has the correct purple.
Man, which is crazy.
Okay?
So like,
but
what happened?
the sides they made blue, and I remember I said, hey, they got to be all purple, but instead they made it all blue.
Man.
So I have, you know, this is the hand-painted prototype. It's all in pieces, right? So I have it all. I should, like, you know, glue it all together. But
I have mine too, and like definitely there's like bigger, like my kick pad logos are way bigger and stuff, and it's definitely different on my hand painted one.
Yeah, my logos are way bigger on. I'll show you right now. Can you tell? The logos are way bigger on the
Yeah, same thing.
hand-painted prototype. So, hey, listen, really cool to get it. Again, another one that if you're trying to get mint on card now, damn near impossible to get mint because that W like pops up a little bit.
There's a lot of things that kind of hang off the carding that just get nicked.
Yeah.
And of course, it comes with my signature exploding briefcase and that
Right,
ladder
Matt.
that Broski was so
Well,
famous
it's
for.
foreshadowing that I would win the ladder match at WrestleMania 32.
Maybe.
True.
Yeah. So I like it. And great window for SIGs. But this was a Sharpie era.
I know.
No
We
paint
didn't even
pens.
know. I don't. Man, I've signed so few of these in paint pen, to be honest with you, because I've signed
Right.
so many in Sharpie over the years.
There
This
was
is
one point where I bought, I think Ringside had a sale, and I went fucking nuts.
And actually, I mean, if you look at the box there, that's the hand painted protos doing those poses and moves and stuff. Oh, you know what? I'm having a memory. You could see it. My original one, when they sent it to us, had like the little boots that like Matt wears with no laces, like Stinger style boots, not
Yep.
kick pads. And I was like, no, please fix that. I know you have a kick pad mold. You use it for Punk all the time. Like, it's got to be kick pads. And they switched it. And I definitely have samples with the wrong boots and things like that Jax was cool enough to hook us up with.
Two things.
Oh, yeah.
You wore boots under your kick pads at this point?
No, I wore. I just sold them and whatnot. I wore like boxing shoes that I wear now. Actually, same thing.
When did you switch to boots? Because when I first met you, you were like strictly boots.
Because at some point I was like, I mean, I'm 6'1", but I'm not the tallest guy in the world, so I'll take whatever I can get to kind of, you know.
Oh, the old lift skis.
Yeah, but then I went to TNA Wrestling in 2020 and went, Jesus, I'm like Braun Strowman here. I don't need these boots. Yeah.
All right, and then the other thing is, and this is no offense, it's just more about the Jax thing. The game to play is every vintage toy store in America has a box of Ruthless Aggression loose figures just beaten there. You can look through, right?
There's
Play a
always
game with
Festus.
yourself anywhere in America. Try to find a Zach and Brian because there's
Okay,
usually
but there's-
one of them in
I
there.
guarantee there's a Festus in there because that's
Yes, yeah, there's always
we
a
found
Festus.
in every vintage toy store in America. A loose
Man.
Festus, and the
All
arms
beat
like
up.
super loose.
Yes.
You can. I hate. Know what I hate about Ruthless figures? Like something can break and they rattle.
Yes.
Oh, it's the worst.
And sometimes it's like that when you open it fresh from
I
the
know, and then,
box.
like, I can't keep that, even though like it's posed on my shelf, not making a noise. Just my OCD and the thought of that it has the rattle in. I'm like, nah, something's broken in there. We got to
Yeah,
go.
I don't have a single rattle or click on any of my figures.
I mean, yeah, right. I was gonna say, Mark, when Ruthless Aggression figures were a thing, you were like, you had a real job. You were like graduating
40.
college. Yeah,
2 degrees.
yeah.
All right.
All right, next up, cool concept, micro aggression.
Love
Love
it.
this.
Zack Ryder, Curt Hawkins, Matt freaking Hardy. Again, pretty much the same gear as our deluxe aggressions. Mine's inaccurately in the blue, But this is, you can't see it on this thing, but it's my favorite like head sculpt. It's like the screaming, ah!
I guess I never kind of realized that they do have different scans, huh?
Yeah. I love
mean,
the concept of these.
I love the concept, fun for play. These became a thing like right before we became WWE superstars. Obviously, the deco hits aren't what they should be. I mean, I have no D-pads for some reason.
I actually think mine has the Ryder on the butt, has the logos
I mean,
on the sides,
it's like
and
weird.
the
It's
crotch
like
stuff.
they have a bunch and then they don't, you know? It doesn't make all that much sense, but I thought it was cool because these were so accessible. They were everywhere, dude. Every Walmart, Toys R Us had, you know, and it made you feel like really a WWE superstar. You know, see these in the store and stuff. You know, and we come with Matt Hardy. How cool is that?
Pretty damn cool, man.
Yeah.
And
These are the
next
kind
up,
of figures I think if I was a kid, I would collect like crazy and like take on vacation,
affordable.
take to the beach or something, and not worry about like if they were getting all messed up or lost.
Yeah.
And next up, we have the Adrenaline 2-packs. Finally,
Man, so
Hawkins and Ryder 2-pack. Guys,
Look at that.
man.
One half of the youngest WWE Tag Team Champions in history. I think our friend Nicholas kind of fudged that trivia fact up for us a little bit, but I still think that kind of stands true because his is a little, you know.
So this
I
is
love-
this
I
is
love that we
post Edge.
Post-Edge heads.
You guys win the belts on that Great American Bash, right?
American Bash
We are
2008.
edge heads when we win the titles, but this outfit depicts post-edge heads.
So what do you think we did in this gear?
Bro,
was
I
literally just
literally did one fucking match in this white.
Fit and swaggle, maybe? There's
It's like a fit and swaggle or a Kali squash.
Yeah.
Something not cool. Something
in
not
between,
memorable.
like Edgehead was breaking up and you being woo woo guy. I mean, there's not a lot of action. So
How long is that?
It's months. It's like the fall of 08 until
To
the
spring of 09.
Like, so it's like a good amount of
So
time.
really, we had this conversation with Vince McMahon, and he told us that he was going to split us up, but he was going to send us to Stanford, and we were going to have like individual meetings with the writing team to come up with new gimmicks. That never happened.
Oh, damn.
So what happened was they just kept bringing us randomly to TVs
But we
as a team.
first off, we drove to Stanford, and then they like blew off the meeting, and we just went home, right?
No, we filmed our own thing and drove on our own. This was not the meeting.
That was it. I remember
We
hanging out in
filmed-
Toronto's office, and like
Yeah,
nothing
we-
was accomplished.
No, we filmed the thing with my cousin John.
Yeah,
That video's on YouTube. We can put it in the description.
We've put it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we pitched it ourselves. This was not the meeting we were supposed to have. And yes, we were blown off.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sort of right.
Sort of right. But we just keep getting brought to TVs in these meaningless matches against Finley and Swoggle, against
Yeah,
Great
but
Khali in a handicap
and
match.
it was always like, oh, you guys aren't doing anything, and then they come out of the meeting and be like, oh, actually, you're putting over someone. We wrestled Jeff Hardy at Triple H.
Oh my
one
God.
time.
You know what I'm saying? That might be this match.
Well, that's pretty memorable.
No, it's
Right.
not memorable at all.
Well, I mean, it's cool. You wrestled two of your like guys. you grew
And
up
that
watching.
particular show, it was in Albany, New York. I'll never forget.
Yep.
And we were not booked, and we drove from Long Island to be proactive, and then we got added to the show to wrestle Jeff and Triple H. So I'm not sure if that's
caught
the
your
match.
first of many pedigrees there, my man. That's
First
very
of many
memorable. That's why
pedigrees.
you got to figure to remember that.
I actually got two figures in this Adrenaline because there is a variant
Yeah,
or
I
a
guess we need
cost
to address
cut.
this. Well, there's a couple things to be said about this 2-pack. One, I for sure suggested to like Jeremy, like, hey, I saw that you have that sweatshirt mold for, like, most people are like, why would you want your ring gear? I just wanted it to be more toyetic and different. And I knew they had this mold from the Rocky line that was very popular at the time from Jax. I'm like, there's a Rocky and a full sweatsuit thing. And I'm like, and it's the same exact compatible molds as Ruthless Aggression WWE figures. And I said, hey, can we use that and make it my hoodie that I wear to the ring? Because I just thought it would be so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Which I think to this day, my mom wears this hoodie to the grocery store like a psychopath.
And
So that's why I picked that.
I do want to point this out, guys. I have the hand-painted prototype of this as well.
Wow.
So, I mean, Jax really hooked us up on this, 100%.
This adrenaline set kind of coincides with the boom death blow of Jax at WWE.
Who killed?
Yeah.
Jax.
We're going to have to pitch that one to Vice. Who killed Jax WWE? Because that last year, I think they knew the license was up, and I don't know if there was already an agreement with Mattel or whatever, and Jax like basically gave up, and I don't think they wanted to put any more money into the line. So this set was released, and I guess there's a couple of these like this, but then they just start cost-cutting all figures across the board. But so this set's released the way it's supposed to be. If you look closely at these pictures, like look at my Hawkins on my chest. One has the blue deco hit. The next one doesn't.
Right.
They even cost-cut the accessory because it probably costs a lot more to make a plated title belt where they made it a microphone.
Also, the my logo is dumbed down as well. Like there's these black studs that are removed from the purple on my logo.
Yeah, there's actually all blue from my figure is removed.
Wow.
For sure. And I gotta say this, bro. And I asked Broski this. I don't even display that cost cut when I have one. Like, I have it mint on card and I have it bagged, but I don't display it because it's just
like I said, I only display my mint on card figures, and I don't display the. This is my photo right here. I have one.
Yeah.
I don't have any of these loose, to be honest. So I need to get some of these loose at least.
That's crazy.
But you know what? I do have it loose, but it's with my Ruthless Aggression figures. I need to get it to add to my Matt bin of figures.
Right.
It's hard being a wrestler who collects wrestling figures because you have to get so many versions of yourself. The mint on card run for display, the mint on card run for like just in case like your house burns down and you just grab that bin. The loose for display, the loose for like your Ruthless Aggression collection, the loose for figure photography.
I gotta say, I can't even tell you how many. If you see this on the shelves, I bought it. I would never leave myself never leave myself hanging, and I have none to show for. They're all gone, given away, whatever. So. I tell people when they get figures, man, you gotta stock up. I see those ringside sales, man. I send those to the creative guys so fast. Johnny Silver and all those people. I'm like, you guys don't understand. Like one day, you're gonna be dying to find this figure, and it's gonna be $80 on eBay.
Yeah,
you can get it for $5 right now. Like just,
it's better to have too many now.
Too much can never be enough, man.
That's right.
Can't.
That's exactly something that I took from you guys, and even early on with the bendies, I'm thinking I got to get rid of these red, white, and blue ones, or that first one that you made, and now I literally only have 3, and I'm like, shit.
Yeah,
it's tough, man.
But yeah, so Johnny Silver should be buying every single one, and I don't think he is. I bet you he has 2 in his house.
I bought. Oh my God. I don't even want to think about it.
Probably open too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gave one to his nephew or some shit.
Don't even want to think about it.
All right. Next up, we have another microaggression. Zack Ryder, Curt Hawkins, and Carlito. Again, kind of a re-release
in the face of
That's
people
right.
who don't want to be cool.
Oh my God, you had that lined up.
I saw it on Instagram. I stole it.
This is a straight re-releaser.
Straight re-releaser. Still cool. And I mean, if we're being full major pod style transparent about this, Jack's money, way better than Mattel money. So
way better than Mattel money.
Anytime you get something like this, it's like, ooh, baby. Like it was like,
oh yeah.
And that's it. Like obviously there's the, professional aspect of it where you're like, wow, I'm an action figure. Wow, they released me again. That's cool. But then the financial aspect of Jax was much more lucrative than what guys have been getting paid for Mattel.
What are we talking? Are we talking about 10,000? Are we talking 1,000? What are we talking? 25,000?
I'm trying to remember. I feel like every time we got a figure, it was like $6 or $7 grand.
I would say more than that.
More?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably maybe with all the, the first check is always big and then it's quarterly, so it kind of dwindles. Maybe all in 10, 11.
Those micro guys, how do they compare to that to the Attitude Era ones that we talk about all the time?
They're way smaller.
Even smaller?
They're smaller. They're probably.
Dude, look at my. Here's a little size comparison.
I don't want to say an inch smaller,
Look at
but
that.
they're smaller.
You know what I'm talking about? The mini Jacks.
It's like
This is an inch and a half. This Brian.
He's talking about the ones that come in the ring.
I'm talking about the.
They're smaller. They're not.
Way smaller though.
PCA. Okay.
Yeah, they're smaller.
Yeah.
They're smaller. Well, next up is a figure that I kind of don't want to talk about right now because I don't have one.
I think you were. So I have a theory on that too. I think you were next.
Probably was, but I don't have it, so who cares?
Yeah, I think you were slated to be in it. These ones are going to need some explaining. This is probably my best figure of all time. Most accurate, best deco hits. Body is just exact, I would say.
It would have been great for me. Maybe not jacked enough.
Not tan or jacked enough to be broski. So they made it me. All right, these were Titantron bodies, reused and discounted. You can see like they're 3 for $13.98, I believe that says, right? Available at Rite Aids. And this is Series 14. Also, same year, Deathbed, Jack's WWE era's ending. I remember this came out when I was already in FCW when this came out.
Damn.
And they were like, I mean, it was cool and it was not cool, but these were in think about how many Rite Aids there are, right? And people pop in there. There's a very small toy aisle, but this is one of the things you see every time. Like, people would just send me pictures of it all the time. Like, I mean, it was everywhere. I would always scoop them up. Same thing. I had so many of these. Now, this has actually become one of my more rare figures because it's like, it was so unsought after that people don't have it, you know? So if you're trying to be a Brian Myers or Curt Hawkins completist, this is actually pretty tough to come by. And then, like I said, I think there's maybe, this is Series 14, and then there's like 15. I wouldn't say Broski was slotted to be in it, but the whole thing just kind of dried up and died.
We'll never know.
Pretty cool to say I have a Titantron, though.
No, that is cool. That is totally cool. I wish I did. Now, you have one mint on card as well?
Oh, of course, yeah, I have a mint on card. And I might have a hand-painted proto that actually has a deco hit on it.
Oh, no, that's cool.
Yeah. Because,
I'd like to see that.
These were always pretty bad, but at the end, they got really bad. They weren't always like, this is literally me in blue boots and blue underwear. Like, there's not a thing on this. Like,
no knee pads.
It's crazy.
They're almost bootleg figures.
Yeah, they almost wouldn't even think they were real, right? But they were real.
Yeah, they were real.
Well, they knew that you were a big Rite Aid guy, Brian. That's why.
Honestly, when I lived in Queens, there was a Rite Aid right there. I mean, that's where I shopped every day for everything.
Did you ever see it in that Rite Aid?
Of course. And then,
nice.
Like I said, I mean, same thing as anytime I see myself on the pegs, I buy it.
But you gotta. Can't leave yourself on the pegs.
Never enough.
So the final release.
Oh, this is where
from Jack's.
This one hurts. This one hurts a lot, guys.
No. There's one more. Microaggression.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the little Easter egg we got prepared.
What up, dude? I mean, look at this. Zack Ryder.
You know what? I have a new goal. I want someone to bring this to me at a signing, and I'm going to write "What up, dude" on this and sign it.
Zack Ryder, Curt Hawkins.
That's fantasy gear for you, broski?
No, this is real gear for me. And for once, they fucking matched you. I think yours is kind of fantasy.
I always thought mine was supposed to be the title, what I won the tag titles in, but this is not that either. But
so
you know what I mean?
The only thing that's fantasy about mine is that, if you spread my crotch open, you see that it's blue. Can you even tell? It should be purple inside, but this teal aqua is real gear.
Okay, now I remember that gear. Okay.
And I feel like yours is fantasy to match.
Mine is fantasy. It's it's a mishmash. Now I'm looking at it because
Right.
it's the kickers from my older gear and then the blue tights from when we won the tag titles.
So didn't wear this gear many times at all, so it's meaningless gear. But it's
gear, broski. That gear is for sure like a collie, like a 2-in-1 kill job.
Yeah. It's totally meaningless gear.
Yeah.
But we got a 3-pack with the fucking Undertaker.
Yeah, how cool is that, right? Like what? I mean,
and a trash can.
And the signature trash can. But I feel like if our WWE careers ended in 2009, we could walk away and be like, well, we made it to this point where somebody justified that we could come in a 3-pack with the goddamn Undertaker. Like, that's
what up, dude?
Pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. The hits keep coming in that regard, right?
It's just weird to me that, we had a pretty decent run as the Edge heads, as Hawkins and Ryder with Edge. But the 2 gears they chose for me, in these last 2 gears are gears that I wore once or twice post Edge heads.
And I don't want to say we're cheating, but we're pretty in with like Jeremy and Jax and Ringside Collectibles. Like, we definitely, had a little helping hand.
For sure.
Which is much appreciated.
This next one is going to hurt. Unreleased, guys. Unreleased. It was supposed to be a Kmart 2-pack with the title. Zack Ryder, Curt Hawkins. In the gear we won the titles in Great American Bash.
God.
Now,
that's why it hurt. I mean, it hurts on many levels. That's the number one, I would say, right?
Yes.
Because it's depicting us winning the belts. In the gear we won the belts. With the belt, which is a role play, kid style SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
Right. It would have, like if you're watching right now, the Miz and Morrison, it would have been just like that. It would have been so fucking
God, imagine
cool.
signing that like now at conventions and stuff. It'd be like such an honor.
I'm fortunate because of Jax. I have 3 versions of mine.
Same. I have all these This is a finished sample, like playable, real deal version of it. Probably one of my favorite things I own.
Damn,
What's on your wristband?
The stars that I was accurate. Yeah.
Was it just timing that canceled it, or?
Yeah,
it's the end of the Jax everything. Like so, those were Kmart exclusive 2-packs, and actually
Kmart,
for years.
okay. Yeah.
So and there's just bad timing because it definitely got that far along that we got samples like.
So, Mark, check this out. So I have the hand painted prototype right here, which is great. You probably can't even tell. Like, look how it's fantastic.
It is
hand
great,
painted. Yeah. And then I have 2 samples, but what I don't like, it comes with knee pads and elbow pads. I didn't wear knee pads over the tights like this.
Right.
So I took off the knee pads on the other ones and added a tag team title. So this is the one I have on display. It's a mashup of a fantasy figure, but how perfect is that?
So cool, yeah.
But that's what you would have done when you got that figure. You would have immediately taken off
taking those goddamn knee pads off. But yeah, so I'm fortunate that I have 3 versions of it.
And then
Brian, you sold one of yours, didn't you? You corny son of a bitch.
I sold my extra one on I think early Whatnot days for a lot of money, and it had very odd. It had the Rocky molded, like big chunky molded wrist tape, white wrist tape, which is not accurate or anything at all from that time period. So I don't know how it ended up with that. But other than that, it was all the exact same.
You wore elbow pads and knee pads, black elbow pads and knee pads.
Perfect, yeah. From this era to me in my mind.
Man, that's crazy. It's crazy. You don't wear elbow pads now, right?
No, one day Fandango said to me like, "You look way more jacked without elbow pads blocking the cuts of your biceps and stuff."
Yeah,
and I haven't worn them since.
I feel like elbow pads really fell off, right? Who wears elbow pads?
I think
I wear elbow pads.
Broski actually wears elbow pads.
You do?
I think, which is crazy because you're so vain, but like. I stopped wearing because I think it makes my arms look less jacked. So like,
I think it makes my arms look bigger, so I wear them.
All right.
I feel like people don't wear elbow pads now unless they have an elbow problem or something.
Same. If I have a set in my gear bag at all times in case I get banged up, but it's been years.
So yeah, decent little run with this Jax run. Some of my favorite figures, obviously a lot of sentimental value and connection to these figures, to this toy line, because like we said, we were playing with Jax. And now we have Jax, and then we're on the roster when Jax dies.
Right.
So,
yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a bucket list dream thing to come true, especially for 2 guys who are obsessed with wrestling figures. And really the crazy part, and I'm just kind of having this moment right now, it's just a year. That's a year, right? From like a year of product, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
I guess it's a hot year.
It's like fall of 08 it starts. We get our first thing in hand, and it ends like fall of 09.
Wild times.
Yeah.
So now you guys have talked about this a lot. Devastated. Jax is done. Mattel is coming
Well, let me just say this. I do think I got screwed out of a one-legged woo-woo Zack Ryder Jax. I think they could have got me.
Because you were doing
May 09.
But no one else.
Doesn't TJ get one?
Yeah, but he debuts like early 09.
May's pretty early.
I know, but he's like he's early in that. And then
that's Q2, pal.
I'm trying to think like the latest one's like Christian, right? But he's January 09 or something like that, right?
They could have squeezed me in.
It would have no Deco. It would almost would have been pointless.
Well, we will say this before we get into Mattel. We heard through the grapevine, we have no proof of this, that we were supposed to be in the first set of 2-packs, which obviously, they planned those so far in advance.
Yeah.
And we quickly become tag team champions to lose in a Kali.
Yeah.
So that gets scrapped. But I wonder if it got far at all.
It's weird. That whole first year or whatever, that first Mattel product that dropped depicts 2008 WWE, but it dropped in 2010. You know what I mean? Because they were just getting ready to get ready.
Because they dropped it on that day.
By those metrics, we are stars and could have been in it.
Right.
And we've always heard that we were bumped until they just disappeared from the lineup.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, you guys devastated. They're getting rid of Jacks, whatever. Broski, you've talked about this before. This is when you sell everything. You sell all your Jacks.
I sell it all,
We
bro.
both
I
did.
sell everything besides LJN, Hasbro's, and Bone
our
Cruncher
stuff.
Jacks.
Like,
and
I
our
never-
stuff.
We
Done.
wouldn't get rid of our stuff.
That's what I
Classic,
was.
classic superstars done. Ruthless aggression figures done. I'm like heartbroken, devastated.
But
I don't think people also realize I had everything, every release ever. Like, bro, I probably had 20 something Mr. Kennedys. You know what I mean? Like, I bought everything. It made
and you
no
sold
sense.
that all, or
Yeah.
you know, the what's his name helped you guys, right?
Danny DeMonto did a consignment for us.
That's
And it
true.
was like his job.
Okay, so now,
And
Broski,
by the way, I've gone back and rebought all the classic superstars.
There's
All
a couple
those.
vlogs. There's a great
all
Wrestling
those
Universe vlog
Ruthless
from a couple years
Aggressions.
ago where we fill a trunk with Ruthless Aggression figures
Yeah.
after going in the basement of Wrestling Universe.
I don't have everybody, but I've one. Well, I've one of every character and one of every like character change. But I don't have every Mr. Kennedy, you know.
Yeah. So I was a completist, like a psychopath. Like, it made no sense what I was doing.
yeah, insane.
Yeah.
Now, Broski, you got like an apartment yourself on Long Island now. Do you have your figures up or no?
100% in my living room.
Oh,
Very,
really?
very proud of it. Yeah, I have a nice little shelf,
Okay,
and they're up.
and then what about you, Brian?
I had that ring for sure that I referenced. Like, literally, if there was like a draft or someone changed shows, I'd mix them and they were just all posed. And
Yeah, but after you sold it, after you sold it,
Oh,
you,
done. What I had, my first apartment in Queens, me and Papa Bear, there was like a really big basement where we like hung out and partied and watched wrestling or whatever, watched sports. And there was like a shelf that kind of wrapped around high up. And I had mint on card figures autographed from all my friends and stuff.
Oh,
which most of those have transferred to my garage wall now.
Yep.
Like
Okay.
made out to me and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
A good old, Jesse and Festus 2-pack.
That's
you know,
right.
Signed to me. Best wishes, Zack Ryder.
Right.
That's right.
Okay, so then, is it a big long period, or they're right into Mattel?
Well, there's nothing to be excited about Jack's figures for like a good, 4 to 6 months at the end there because they're
Because you get like Naked Mark Henry.
releasing garbage, like literally, like you said, Broski said, like they didn't even seem like a real product, like they seem like bootleg toys. But then New Year's Day 2010, people went out and were finding Mattel product in like Targets and stuff. I remember it was like this huge thing, and then I was trying to avoid it, and then I finally saw like Elite Series 1 at Target. And I'm like, God damn, these are unbelievable. These might be the best wrestling figures I've ever seen. Like, I can't quit. And that's how it all got started for me.
And I'm out. And I'm like, at this point, I get so mad. Like, they're not making me, especially when I'm like, I wanted Jax to make Woo 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 Ryder. Now Mattel's not even making me. I'm like furious. I'm holding out. Yeah. And then eventually they do make me, but I don't get back into collecting Mattels until like 2016. So like 6 years.
Yeah. Right before the pod.
That's a long grudge Broski held out.
Long grudge.
I got to say, now I'm thinking about it, you got so screwed in timing wise because if Jax was rocking and rolling like in that ECW run, you would have had a lot of product.
A lot. I got screwed.
Yeah, timing wise.
Jax screwed Ryder.
Yeah, there was nobody getting anything, so there's nothing to be had. But you were,
oh my God, yeah, you would have had
like a
everything
staple on that show. You would have had a lot.
I would have had a fucking maximum aggression.
Yeah, maybe. Damn.
Jesus. I would have had a vinyl aggression.
In that time, you're collecting pops and shit, right? Like,
No, there's no
you're collecting
pops.
something.
Pops aren't anything.
Pops didn't start.
There's no pops.
No, really?
No.
Are you,
So
What,
what are you
2010?
what are you collecting? Like Star Wars or anything?
Yeah,
At this time?
yeah,
Wait, are we talking 2010?
Yeah.
yeah. Like after you sell all
Done.
your
I'm
shit.
done. There's
Nothing.
not fuck toys.
Wow.
I mean, you
I
have.
have, like I said, I
have your
kept my
Hasbro
LJNs.
collection,
Has
your
my
Land
Hasbros.
collection.
Yeah. But I'm not collecting shit. The first thing that I started collecting is probably around 2010, actually. It's the Mattel Ghostbusters. I started
Okay, so
collecting
there's
those.
something.
There's something, yeah. But no wrestling.
Hard times, baby.
All right, you guys want to go to some Mattel?
It's time
Yeah.
to move on.
But first, hey, the Mattel segment today on this podcast brought to you by our good friends Major Bendy's.
Big match at my house? I'll bring my guys. You have yours. I've got Sergeant Slaughter. And I got Ric Flair. Woo! Here's Andre the Giant. And here's Macho Man. Ooh, yeah. And Brian Myers. And Matt Cardona.
They're so real. Can you tell the difference?
Roster Cup. Video silence.
Big Rubber Guys. They're for real. Each sold separately on MajorBendies.com.
Big Rubber Guys. Collect them all.
It's funny, we're talking about the Zack and Curts. Now we have our own Major Bendies. There's no Zack and Curt, but there's a lot of Matt and Brian's. And get a lot of other characters, a lot of other superstars. MajorBendies.com. And who knows, maybe you'll get some inspired Zack and Curts.
That would be pretty cool. I was actually just thinking that. Their Curt Hawkins, Zack Ryder figures could fit in Big Rubber Guys, maybe. Who knows?
Oh,
You never know.
yeah, we'd fit right in with those 1985 Adrians. Anyway, you're not that old yet.
So, like we said, the license shifts to Mattel. I'm all out. I'm pissed. I'm furious. I'll never forget what happened. Heath Slater. Okay? I love Heath. Okay? But fucking Heath Slater gets a figure announced, and I tweet so mad at Bill McKenna that Heath Slater as a figure and not me. It's a 2-pack with Christian.
Right.
And Bill McKenna, I don't know if he DM'd me or emailed me or something.
What a brat.
He sent me a picture of my first basic, but it was a mishmash. It was like, we'll talk about it, we'll show. We can show it right now. My first ever basic.
What are you talking about?
My first ever figure right here.
Why is that a
exactly
mishmash?
because the figure he shows me has a purple headband. So they had my elite head on the basic body. I think it was just a fuck up in the factory, but that's the first thing he sends me, and I start flipping out.
But not,
Like, wouldn't you
not
flip-
the actual release.
No, just like a loose figure. Wouldn't you flip out? The headband didn't match?
I guess, yeah.
All right,
But,
so timeline here. So timeout. We're looking right now at this Series 10, which is the basic
10
line.
series of basics, guys.
I can give you a perfect timeline of this with my psycho memory. Royal Rumble 2011 is in Boston. At the time I'm with SmackDown. I have a day off in between.
Year is what?
Royal Rumble 2011, Boston.
Yeah, what year is that?
2011.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are we missing here? Holy smokes.
Holy shit. I kept thinking you're saying Royal Rumble 11.
No, Royal Rumble 2011
Yeah.
is in Boston. SmackDown Superstars have a day off in between, old school
Okay.
schedule style.
Now,
Good.
like you said before, this line came out January 1st,
2010.
2010. Okay.
So we're talking a year
Year later.
full year.
Yep.
There are 10 products or 10 lines. My good friend Dylan Postel was in that Rumble. I did the dark match. We drove all night back. He blew up immensely. You can watch it on Peacock, I'm sure. And he was like bedridden and stayed with me in Queens. And I said, let's at least not lose the entire day. Let's go to Ringside Collectibles and see what they got or what's going on, whatever. And they had just gotten the sample case. And I remember I sent the photo to Matt. And he went, what? I couldn't believe it. Like I saw it before anybody, really.
So to prove how much Mattel screwed me, I don't even have a one-legged tight basic. My first one-legged tight ends up being an elite, which is fine. So at the same time, they come out pretty quickly. An elite comes after this, but my first figure is in Trunks when Trunks comes after the one-legged tights.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
So this is a cool figure right now. Now, if you look, you can't really tell. If you zoom in, like this is when I was kind of growing my hair out a little bit. You can see the longer hair. See that back there?
Yeah,
Yep.
I never realized that, I guess.
So
It's like it's not take care, spike your hair. It's take care, slick
Look
your
at
hair
your-
back.
You pretend tough guy, bad face. Holy
It looks
cow.
great. I am
Matt
that
still
guy.
does that face.
Headband molded on the WWWYKI trunks. Pretty generic gear, but I did wear this. This is the gear that's featured on like my first ever basic T-shirt, right? So
yeah.
it's pretty cool. One thing that bugged me a bit is that if you look at the fist here, like can you see that the tape does not connect to the wrist,
Yeah,
and it's just like a tape fist?
Yeah.
It was like so inaccurate that I just started doing it that way to make the figure accurate.
That's funny.
That's
You know what I'm
insane.
saying?
Once
Like,
you
this-
saw
Is
that,
that
or
a
whatever-
real woo 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 on the headband too?
It's a real woo 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 on the headband.
Which
Did you ever wear that
eventually-
exact thing after it came out, just to like?
I might have.
Yeah.
I might have. But I was very, very proud of this figure. Super pumped to get it. Fuck, 10 series it took. Now that Brian makes it, seem like it was only a year, it doesn't seem like the longest amount of time. But for me, it felt like fucking eternity.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess. I know what you're saying, but when you really think about it, it's like 2010. That's ECW, right? Like you take off with the
ECW
with the
dies in early 2010, and
This comes out. I in my first episode of Z True Long Island Story, which is out in February 2011, I use either this figure or the Elite. So it's like it comes out they come out just as I'm starting the YouTube show. So this isn't like over Zack Ryder. This is like the heart and soul superhero of ECW, now like Jabroni on Raw. Like this is Jabroni on Raw, Zack Ryder.
Got it.
Right? Where like the Elite we're about to talk about is like the star of ECW, Zack Ryder. So it's a weird timing.
It is weird timing.
I get it.
And it's weird that came first. And I remember that very vividly, that came first.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I still to this day love this figure. We'll talk about it later. I personally love the headband molded on because later they don't mold on the headbands and he feels naked.
Right.
It feels naked to me. Even though I didn't really wrestle.
I later even wrestle with a headband on, bro.
In the beginning, I did.
Yeah.
And then I stopped.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like this figure a lot. And I like that it depicts that kind of like, I'm growing out the hair look.
Okay.
Right there. So I like it.
So then the Elite.
The Elite. This is one of, if not my favorite figures.
Great figure, yeah.
Elite Series 9, Zack Ryder.
Is it still it's the same long hair deal?
Yep, has the woo 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 headband. This is the logo that I kind of stole from Edge that Brian ended up kind of using too, where it's just the head,
What's in
Okay.
your mouth?
No, it's just my lips on like it's the paint is weird on the
on the peg. I see
the
it.
peg.
Okay,
Oh, I
got it.
see. Yeah.
so it doesn't have my right boots, which it really pisses me off, but they painted them they painted them correctly at least. I don't have fucking straps on my boots like
bad.
that.
It's a
Has
great figure though. A lot of deco hits. The soft goods is like really unique on that, man.
Yes, it has the woo woo
See-through
woo. You
with the
know it down the
logos.
sleeves. The mesh shirt. The one thing that does bug me, besides the plain black sunglasses, is that if you see the ZR on my crotch, it's not centered. It should be centered, but on the studio shot that Bill looks at, because of the one-legged tights, it like pulls a little bit, so the ZR is kind of shifted, and Bill depicted that. I remember the first time I really had some heat with Bill McKenna, it's because Miz told Bill that I didn't like the figure, and I had to say, no, it's not I don't like it.
I like how he said the first time I had first of many.
But I love this figure. I love signing it. This is before they started adding all the things to secure the accessories and package.
Right.
So it's very, very hard nowadays to find the sunglasses on the figure.
Oh, wow.
Why are the sunglasses not accurate?
They're just plain black. There's nothing to it.
What did you wear?
Either I wore sunglasses that had I wore really expensive Prada sunglasses with purple sides. I guess it is what it is, right? What were they gonna do? Paint the frames
That's where I was
purple?
lost. But okay.
Yeah. But I love it. I love that it has the long knee pad. It's really, really cool. Really, really great. I love this figure 100%. And like I said, it's just weird because it comes out, after the basic. Where I still believe I should have got a one-legged tight ECW basic.
Beggars cannot be choosers.
Listen, I can do both.
Any consideration at this point to maybe getting into collecting Mattels now that
No.
you have a figure?
No.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
But a little backstory, the reason I switched from the one-legged tights to the trunks is because I'm now on Raw, and Jericho pulls me aside and says, you just got to be taken more seriously now. The one-legged tights were great to get over, to stand out. You did that. Now you got to switch to the trunks to be taken more seriously. So the one-legged tights came about because, yeah, it was. But when Brian and I split up, I knew I was still an edge guy. Right? Whether I couldn't just be the edge guy by himself.
Yeah.
So I had to drastically change everything, cut my hair, the one-legged tights, because I wanted people to be like, okay, they might not know my name, but that's the guy who wrestles in the one-legged tights. So that's the guy who says woo, woo, woo. Yeah, I just try to be so different from the edge heads to stand out. And the next figure, believe it or not, is the infamous.
Oh my God. Why are we talking about this?
How is this next?
Broken nose.
I also don't believe this is next, but
Broken nose.
Because you assume that this is only going to be once you're over as F, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess
So
maybe you are because
this comes out Christmas season or
guess
fall season.
Faster to make a gnome than a detailed action figure.
2011. This is one of the guys. There's a legit Zack Ryder gnome club. Okay, these pop up on eBay. They go for almost $1,000.
It's insane.
It's almost impossible to find it in this package. Okay, so I love it. It's really, really cool. He's doing the fist bump.
I would give someone $1,000 to not own that.
So I own
great.
I own two of them. I remember my good friend Michael Chiappetta brought one in. I don't know what he was doing. He went to show. He worked at a school. He was a janitor at a school and wanted to show it off to the kids. And it dropped and it shattered. I want to fucking kill him. And I knew they were rare back then.
Oh man,
They're
I would
super
love to,
rare now.
Brian, you're nuts. I would love to, just because of the story that it's become in our podcast. I would love to have one. I would put it prominently somewhere. I would never spend $1,000 for it.
no.
But I would proudly
dude. I'm
display
a
it.
diehard Mets fan. They made a bunch of Mets like this. There's no. I'm like, nah, man. Oh no, no thanks.
He's doing the fist pump.
It's too weird.
It's great.
Well, so timeline wise, since we're keeping that in our minds here, 2011 is the year of the YouTube show. 50 episodes. We talk about it on MC True Long Island Story on this YouTube page. There's 52 episodes. You do an entire year starting in February of 2011.
I still think this comes out
At the end.
peak 2011.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. So 8 episodes into this YouTube show, somewhere in March or end of March, Broski is getting chants in arenas. And then it's the whole summer and all that stuff, and you're leading into all this Dolph Ziggler stuff. Very popular. You can listen to that entire story on our YouTube channel. But obviously they don't know that this is going to happen. They don't know that you're going to become one of the craziest merch sellers in the company. So you would assume that everybody is scrambling, like, what can we do for Zack Ryder as soon as possible?
Well, and they do bang out some Mattels. We'll talk about them. But next up is the very infamous Squinky. I don't know if you could see it.
Wink ease.
He's doing the LI. I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It's so tiny. It's so tiny. It's a little squinky. You squeeze
I
it.
was absolutely shocked to find out that I had a Squinky.
Well, you do. I love these squinkies.
Yeah, they're fun. I mean, honestly, my kids. Back then I didn't know this because they didn't have kids then. But like, my kids love like little things like this. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's out of my case of all my cool figures that I've had in my life. Madison's always like trying to get to that one for some reason, which is ridiculous.
Next up is the Rumbler with Rey Mysterio. Yes,
That's cool.
It's true. I have a 2-pack with Rey Mysterio. This, you talking about good check? This was a pretty good check.
Oh, wow.
Being a
Okay.
2-pack with Rey Mysterio,
Well,
doing the LI.
That's like just completely random, right? You never like touched Ray at that
Never
time.
touched Rey.
Right. Yeah.
This is a random. The sunglasses removable, doing the LI. I love these style of
It's a great
figures.
figure, man.
So cool, so cartoony, and they did a little deep dive. They went deep with this line. So there's some stars, there's some mid-carders, there's a lot of play sets.
They're way
So-
smaller, but they remind me of that new line that's out now that we talk about a lot. with
Knuckle
the
crunchers, bro.
Knuckle crunchers.
I love these way better than Knuckle Crunchers. Sorry.
I like those better than knuckle crunchers too. Knuckle crunchers are fine, but the rumblers were something I always wanted to have, and I thought they were so fun. And I wish they'd like. I get it. The kids stuff doesn't stand the test of time, but I wish.
But Rumblers went on for a while.
Yeah, or they could just have a little comeback. What'd be wrong
Little
with that?
comeback.
What would be wrong
Well,
with
they
I
did.
love
They're
that.
Knuckle crunchers.
that? Yeah, they're different though.
Yeah. Next up is Zack Ryder Basic. Now, in my memory, remember this coming out sooner, but I trust D-Freedom here. This gear I wore at the WrestleMania pre-show. It's like a...
Right?
Yeah, we actually have a photo of myself, Brian,
You,
and Trent Beretta.
Yeah, and our gear, yeah.
It's Long Island Ice Z. You get the Long Island, the Ice Z.
You're right.
Very,
it
very
does
cool.
look naked. The head looks naked without the headband, right?
It looks weird without the headband.
Yeah, but you did wrestle. I don't know.
Yeah,
Not
no,
to
I
me.
get it.
Yeah.
And
That's
this is a
spiked hair.
brand new sculpt.
Yeah.
Brand
Well, that's the
new
first
sculpt.
time.
And it's got like the side smile. That's definitely a Photoshop picture, but that's fine. I don't mind the Photoshop pictures. But Zack Ryder with the woo 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 headband just feels a little naked to me, but I love it. They got the details down on the knee pad, the broken ice.
Yep.
Really cool gear for me.
Nice.
But this is still like I'm doing the YouTube show but I just started at this point. So I'm still doing nothing on Raw. I think I wrestled Kofi Kingston on Raw wearing this gear. I'm still nothing.
There's a period where you are over and the internet is loving you and people are watching your show at crazy levels, but you're still, nobody in WWE cares yet.
They don't even know what YouTube is.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And then we get a little rapid fire here. So next up is this right here.
This is what happens when you get over, folks.
Well, you get some figures. It is an elite, baby, with the Internet Championship. This is one of, if not my favorite figures ever, in like this gray gear. They even got like the purple tongues on the boots, the head, the "Are you serious, bro?" It has the QR code on the side, the ZR down there, orange sunglasses. Now take note, the WWWYKI headband. Finally, also, guys, the debut of the Internet Championship. I had to actually give permission, written permission, to Mattel to make that title because I never wore
an official WWE licensed item, right?
Never wore
Never
it
was.
on television. Now, this next photo you're going to see, I'll tell you a sad story. This is from San Diego Comic-Con 2012. As you can see, there's the Zack Ryder wearing a Broski headband.
Okay.
Now, that is Broski. There turns out to be a big scandal over the word Broski. Can WWE use it? Can they not? So Mattel tells me they're going to scrap the Broski on the headband. I'm like, you can't just put out an elite figure with a plain gray headband. So I get a new headband made. So it's WWYKI, so it's accurate. I prove it to Bill with real pictures. That's why they're able to switch it. But this actual test shop prototype, if you will, Bill gives it to me. Classic story. To protect it, I wrap it up in what else but a hotel hand towel. And on the road, I end up leaving it behind, thinking it's just a used hotel hand towel. So I left the only Broski headband in a hotel in California somewhere. I was devastated.
That's pretty rough.
Devastated.
Well, we've said that if you are a fan of that Z-Tron Story show, this is the definitive Z-Tron Story action figure that you would need.
I love it. And it's just like he's holding the glasses too. It looks great. I wish it would have come with like a flip camera, but I get it. Too many accessories.
Right.
Would have been cool if it came with a flip
belt
camera.
is just
The
pretty
belt,
insane.
It's great.
When you know a lot about licensing and all that stuff, to do this
Did you
belt.
the same thing for the video game, or they just do that without your permission?
They did it without my permission for the game, yeah.
There you go.
I'm not going to complain.
I know.
I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah.
Sue him now after the fact.
I should, right?
Yeah.
No, but one of my favorite figures of all time. Just a very special moment in my career. Next up is the Zack Ryder. Now this is a kind of a mishmash figure. This is supposedly it's from Survivor Series 2011 where I do the run in and the Rock.
Oh yeah.
It's like woo 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 all that shit. But Bill McKenna does not like splatter paint and takes all the splatter paint off it. So as you see, there's the Statue of Liberty.
Maybe he doesn't like it, but we know from our interview with Super 7 that splatter paint would be insane.
But also, it's inaccurate boots that have like purple and yellow, like purple and orange. I'm sorry, like I don't own boots like this. Yeah, so it's just weird because all blue and yellow, and then you got purple and yellow. Purple. I keep seeing yellow, purple and orange. Then the boots are purple and orange.
So this is supposed to be when you came out on Survivor Series?
Yes.
He literally got a bigger reaction than the Rock at the Garden. So I think that's
I was
in
there.
This action figure. It's pretty cool.
Nosebleeds watching that, by the way.
So I wore this gear on like another MSG house show, but this was never on TV ever besides Survivor Series 2011.
The worst part is the photoshopped headband with nothing.
Yeah,
right.
I was just thinking.
Right. I remember I used to make fun of Matt. I'm like, when they do that, it looks like you're going to like Curves for a workout. Like, it's so not cool when they do that to you.
Yeah.
And then
WWE and Mattel would do that all the time with things.
So Brian, at this point, you're just in Florida, just raging with the Dude Busters.
No,
I'm back. I'm tolling away here. I'm back.
Oh,
he's back. Mm-hmm. Next up, I love this 2-pack. This is this to me. This is the definitive Zack Ryder. The
Really?
battle pack.
Yes.
Yes.
There's the Curves headband I just referenced.
Yes, the Zack Ryder with Dolph Ziggler with the classic ring bell. But this is the classic Zack Ryder gear with a QR code here. the Broski logo on the back. I don't think these boots are accurate here. I think they're missing some detail. Maybe like they're missing the tongue. They're missing something. I don't know exactly
Does
what.
this set
Your hair is lighter.
Does this set depict the U.S. title win?
No, it depicts the feud, but not the win.
Okay.
So this is the classic. To me, when I close my eyes, I think of Broski 2011. Zach, this is the gear.
What's the story about that ring bell? Didn't you make a joke of something ring bell and then somebody found proof of that you guys used a ring bell at some point or something?
No. I was saying like
in one of our episodes he said Mattel's never made a ring bell. They really should. And then, like, the following week someone goes, bro, it's in your goddamn 2-pack.
But
scan that QR code on your crotch with your phone.
I don't know if you can anymore, but you used to be able to. Because here's the story of the
on
QR
the figure?
code. I believe you so. So the story of the QR code is Zack Ryder, he's getting popular. They're making merch. At the time, I just have a basic T-shirt, like a $12.99 basic T-shirt or whatever the price was, and it's selling. They want to make it a real shirt, but I'm not on TV yet. And they pitched me these ideas, and I don't want to say it was sabotage, but it was like, you got to be kidding me with this. Like
I remember those.
One of them is like a panda bear. Yeah. One of them is like a seal. I'm like, what
it was like
is
a little,
this?
Like packet, and he was showing the boys, and we were like, no way.
And then one is a giant QR code. And I'm like, guys, I like the idea of the QR code, but like, let's hide it on the shirt. Can't be the whole shirt.
Yeah.
So I end up putting it on my gear and stuff like that. But that gear is so iconic to me that I ended up wearing something similar as Matt Cardona. We have an upcoming major Bendies in that gear. QR code, and I wrestled Nemeth, at GCW, and Ringside Collectibles will have the matching Nick Nemeth bendy very, very soon on their website.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's my classic 2-pack figure. Brian, I believe, got it signed, not to hang on his wall, but to sell. So
Of course, yeah. Basics.
Brian is next, folks. Let's talk about it.
Long time coming. Oh, the Squinkies first. I actually think this is the only thing in like my whole career that depicts like red pants return to WWE tagging with Lance Archer, Curt Hawkins. The Squinkies, Series 5. Same thing. These were at Toys R Us, and I never left them on the pegs. I would just scoop them up, and now I have none. And I wish I had some because, like I said, my kids bug me about them.
By the way, speaking of...
at least you're not a mystery person. Isn't like Heath a mystery?
Yeah, some people are mysteries. That's you don't even know you're in there, yeah.
Oh, damn.
What's up, Mark? You were saying
No. Go ahead.
Also, I mean, did you hold up the Squinky? I mean, Squinky is this big.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
So small. So small.
It's ridiculous.
I have like a small Ric Flair thing, but that's not a Squinky.
It's not a Squinky?
It's like, it's not squishy at all, and it came in like a pack with like Legends.
They're squishy, like almost like
it's very similar. It's like
it's a freaking vending machine item. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's neat though.
It's cool. All right, next up. Again, Bill McKenna hates splatter paint. It's the Z True Long Island Story figure. I love this figure. This is a new mold of the head, I believe. Is it? Yeah, I believe so. I'm smiling. They have some stubble on me. If you actually like zoom in, you can see the stubble. He's got the merch wristbands I like. There's no logo, but that's fine. The QR code, the Z True Long Island Story logo, and the back says Z True Long Island Story.
That's pretty damn
so
cool.
Really cool. I'm proud of that. Again, I'm not sure about these fucking boots, if they're just making up shit for the boots, or if I had boots like this. I'm not quite sure. But I love this figure. It's just very plain without the splatter. But I get it.
It's literally impossible to put splatter paint on a basic.
At this time, not quite. Bill told me he just doesn't like the look of splatter paint.
Okay, but
that's a ridiculous excuse. If it costs too much money, I get it.
Right.
Back then, basics were real figures. They could have did it.
Possibly.
They could have did it.
They
Everybody else
still
in
have
the
to
set
price
would have
out
to
the line,
just
though.
the
Like,
black.
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But I dig this figure a lot. Listen, my YouTube show, now not only do I have the belt that I created, now the logo is on figure form. So I like that a lot. Next up, oh, baby. Somebody call my mama.
Very proud of this. It's a Curt Hawkins figure that comes with a free Brodus. Battle Pack Series 20. One of my favorite figures I've ever had in my career. I mean, obviously, like I kind of alluded to, I was just, I came back from FCW. I was like tolling away. I tagged with Lance Archer. I freaking that didn't work out. Then I tagged with Tyler Rex. That's what this depicts. Actually, a little bit of a Makina mashup as far as the gear. It's not like 100% accurate. I had a red pair that was like this, and then I think I had the extra Hawkins in there removed than the ones going forward because I thought it was a little too cluttery. So this gear kind of really doesn't exist.
What do you do with Lance Archer?
Dude, it's like go back and watch. We like squash dudes. We beat Christian and MVP and Matt Hardy. I mean, Matt Hardy. Like, there's like a battle royal at Main Event SmackDown, and I get down to like the final 4 to be like #1 contender. Like, it's like a crazy month and a half, and then like we had a stinker with like JTG and MVP, and then done.
And that
Done.
stinker was on TV?
No, that's the other crazy thing. It was like on Superstars, and it's just like. And that was it. Like never,
and then
ever,
Lance
ever.
goes
Like
away, or?
almost like they were looking for an excuse to stop it, and then we gave it to him. Yeah, I can tell you.
Lance leaves, and then you start training to
Lance
be a
is
dancer.
let go, and then I'm just like doing whatever I can, trying to get on, and then they just randomly put Rex and I together because he had a singles run that didn't really work out, and they put us together, and then like we were like, screw it, like. What do we got to lose? And like we worked our asses off, man. We put over everybody on the roster 7 times over. And then finally, which really helped a lot was that's when they had kind of given up on NXT, and NXT was like a land of its own, and you could kind of like do stuff and get over. We were able to do like storylines and talk. That's where I introduced the Cane for the first time, which kind of similar to what Matt was saying earlier. Like I just wanted something to identify myself with the WWE audience, like not just like some generic wrestler. I'm like, oh, the guy. At least I'll be the guy with the cane, if you forget, or above all. And I was watching a lot of Pillman stuff at the time, and I loved that debut in ECW where the lights come on. And he has that cane. I'm like, that's so freaking cool. So there was something in NXT where someone hurt my ankle, and I had to justify that I needed this cane, and that's how that whole cane thing started. Which I love and hate. I have a love-hate relationship with the cane because I loved having it, but traveling around the freaking world with it sucked.
I don't know why you didn't make one with it twisted in half.
I could never. We tried. I had the prop guys look. There was just. I had that particular one. And I didn't want to change. I'm like, this is the cane,
Right.
And then it just wasn't doable. Towards the end of my second run with WWE, I was able to keep one on the prop truck. So if I was going to just TV, I didn't have to bring the cane.
Right.
And it would be on the TV like prop truck. But
Oh,
otherwise
damn, that's
I'd
great.
Travel the world with it. Yeah, but I love this too. I love the likeness. I love everything about it. I love that it comes with the cane.
I love the necklace painted on.
The painted on necklace, which is a crazy detail, something that Matt and I did a lot in our career, which was really a hair tie. That when we were growing our hair out in Deep South, we'd wear them to practice to keep the hair out of our eyes.
Yep.
And then obviously you're rolling around sweating, wrestling, they would fall around down our necks, and then we kind of like at some point were like, man, that's pretty cool actually. And I wore it. It was like a safety blanket for me for years in my career. I wore it all the time. Like I needed to have it for like good luck or I don't know what it was. And Jack's never put that detail on a figure, even though every single time we're wearing it. You know what I mean?
Even like Edgehead's the Major Brother days?
I'm pretty positive.
Wow.
Yeah. So
It's a great figure.
it's the only figure that depicts that, which I think is freaking awesome. Yeah, I love this figure, man.
Now that's not
I remember
Brodus'
you
first
losing
figure,
to
is
Brodus
it?
a bunch.
What's that? I lost to Brodus a ton. I mean, I think what justifies this, even though it doesn't depict the gear we were wearing, I was the first guy to lose to Brodus in his debut as the Funkasaurus, so a lot of people remember that. People also misconstrue when they get this two-pack. They think the hat and the cane are for Brodus. I always see it posed like he's like, hello, my honey, hello, my... Like, I don't know what it is. I've seen that a lot, but yeah, I love that, Brodus Clay versus Curt Hawkins is pretty cool. And I know Bill and those guys were doing me a favor, kind of like throwing me a bone to get me in the line. And then another little tidbit, he wound up, quitting WWE, but I believe Rex was next, and he was going to come with Ryback, which also made sense because that's somebody that we put over back in the day like a million times when he was getting started.
Wow.
And then they replaced him with Jinder Mahal because he was slotted to be in there. And
Damn.
yeah.
Wow.
Pretty crazy. All right. Well, next up we have, yes, more Rumblers. Zack Ryder and Darkside Yoshitatsu.
Why do I feel like I don't remember this? And I The fact that it's Dark Side Tatsu just really got
So
me.
I wrestled Yoshi Tatsu a lot, but I don't think I ever wrestled Dark Side Yoshi.
Side Tatsu.
So very Toyetic with the face paint. Yoshi Tatsu's Rumbler first. Okay, I can't even read. First Yoshi Tatsu Rumbler's figure. First time in the. Oh, let's talk about that. On your Brian figure, does not say first time in the line.
I was just looking for that.
Wait, go back to that. Maybe that was the thing. I remember being. There was something about that at the time too. People were like, "Why doesn't it?" Like,
By that point, they're saying
fucking
first time in the line. Like, obviously, my first one doesn't say first time in the line because most of the guys and girls were first time in the line.
Right, Series 10. Yeah, true.
So the 2-pack with Yoshi is cool. More the merrier, baby. I'm all in.
I gotta
Let's
say,
go.
So this one,
Rumbler's one of my dream products. I wish I had. Now that I see the Dark Side Tatsu got one, my feelings are pretty damn hurt right now.
And Broski, this payday wasn't as good as the Rey Mysterio one. Is that what you're saying?
Listen,
yeah, Tatsu got all the money, bro.
It's fine. People, guys, the Mattel is ordering the set. You know what I'm saying? So like, it doesn't matter if it's like Rey Mysterio or Yoshi. It's the same money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Like the stores are ordering it from Mattel, like the whole set.
Yeah.
Usually before they even know who's in the lineup.
Dark
So it's not like Big Show's story of
Tatsu.
knowing how many figures he sold and the money he makes off of those figures.
Tatsu just tweeted himself into a damn squisher.
Oh boy. All right. Next up, we have little Rumblers Rampage.
Oh, this one that like pops up and down, right?
Yeah, like you can't, if you're watching, he does a little like,
Oh, yeah.
little jump.
That's kind of cool. It's like a Hasbro-esque.
That's a missionary Mike maneuver right there.
Oh my God. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. It's cool. This one, the glasses are molded on. Little articulation, some metallic paint.
Yeah, it's got like
deco
different
hits.
paint, I remember, right? It's a
Yeah, a little
shiny.
metallic.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm a figure whore. Give me as many figures as possible. I don't care, bro. I'm loving it. I'm loving
If
it.
anyone says don't make figures of me, you are a psychopath. Certified
Show me the
psychopath.
figures and show me the money. Next up, we have, now this is one, woohoo, one of the worst figures of all time.
Oh, man.
Zack Ryder with jerk off action. Crank him up. Press for battle.
Under twisting.
These suck, bro. These are horrible.
I'll never forget, SummerSlam 2012, right?
Yeah.
Post SummerSlam 2012 at TV, we had a meeting with Mattel because we were already in California, and they presented these to us, like the entire roster, a meeting, like acting like these were going to change the game. It was some doofus.
They're
from
so
Mattel.
bad. So what happens is they connect at the wrist, and then on the back you can like screw it and like twist it up, and they're supposed to like fly around into this. It never works.
It's horrendous.
It doesn't
And a
work.
ring that's not a ring. It's more like a plastic dome. It's so stupid.
They're horrible. Like they're just so bad.
So is it they're supposed to like wrestle each other and whoever
Yeah, but they
lands on
look,
top?
do people wrestle like that? With handshake wrestling? Like, what are they doing?
I mean, what am I doing here, Mark? Look at this.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. We're gonna get
It's
flagged,
ridiculous.
I think that's great, to be honest. I think you
I'm
should
glad I
that
have
one
it.
right
And you know what? To be fair, it looks decent in the package.
Well,
Bro.
this is
Like,
a weird
aren't they like
pose.
a string inside that kind of like fall apart when you're like?
Yeah.
This one's a
So
weird figure.
it looks fine in the package. It's cool. I do like how the look of it, where it's not inside a package necessarily, where it's a little loose.
Crank them up and press for battle.
Crank them up.
Yeah, bro's
Really
done a
crank 'em,
lot of
huh?
cranking.
Power slammers, baby.
Knuckle Crunch the Crank.
Ironically, Broski's done a lot of cranking. So
Yeah, I don't like these figures, but like I said, I'll take
they
anything.
did. They were unreal botch. Like they were discounted. They were everywhere.
Well, the other
not
thing
last.
too is just looking at them. The ones before with Yoshitatsu, they look cool. There's like a cartoony, fun nature to them, and that even the Knuckle Crunchers, I just think that they look cool and aesthetic. These look like a botch. Like the head looks
Kids
weird.
Can't even like you can't play with them even if you were to play with them for real. You know
And
what I mean?
you can't stand them up. The legs are all like wobbly.
Yeah.
Friggin' weird.
Like the legs have a fucking string. Like
Yeah,
you
that's
see
what I was
this?
trying to explain. Yeah, they're so dumb. There's such a swing and a miss, man.
Yeah, whack.
Microphone
Okay.
just fell. But yeah, so that's a little knuckle cruncher right there. What's next? Yes,
Oh, I was jealous about this too.
Yeah.
the brawling buddy.
Not that big.
with Scott Hall stubble.
With gray, looks like I have a gray beard. I'm all for it. Over 10,000 praises. Try me, press. Let's see if it works. It doesn't work anymore.
Oh wow!
It's like, get ready for the Rough Rider.
Yeah.
I remember when Brooklyn Brawler brought me to do the voiceovers for it. I was so pumped. I was so pumped that I was getting one of these.
Did they give you lines, or did you come up with the 10 lines?
I don't quite remember, to be honest.
So
Mark will remember that there was one of those on the couch at Crib for years.
Yeah. And Kofi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get ready for the Rough Rider. We're not bros. Ugh. Real superstar voices.
You must have said woo woo. You know it, right?
I don't know if I did.
Oh my God!
I'm not
What?
quite sure.
And again, something that didn't last long either.
I'll never forget that same meeting that Brian's talking about where they showed the Power Slammers. They showed this off and actually had it, and Bill McKenna wouldn't give it to me, and I wasn't quite sure if it was going to come out, so I stole it. Don't tell anybody.
Cool. All right.
I just took it home with me.
I've heard that story. So
I mean, also to be fair, like your broski popularity run was like pretty over by then, so I'd be concerned.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, okay, let's make sure we get this.
Yeah.
got it.
Next up, now this is an odd one. The Thumpers. These little thumb wrestler thumpers. I have
You look like Brock Lesnar.
I have 3 versions of this, okay? So as you can see, I have one in a box. This is the one I display. It's easiest.
Have you
to
ever
display.
signed that before at like a signing?
I'm not quite sure if I ever have.
Well, you will now, pal.
So it's a thumper, like in a box. Then I have a thumper, like on like a card, right?
Yeah.
With a picture of me.
Yeah.
You look
Then
like
I have
you're
a
naked, or
thumper.
you're wearing like a thong.
But then there's a thumper with no picture of me.
So that's Brock Lesnar right there.
Yeah.
So as you can tell, they're different here. So not quite sure. Good friend of the show, Iman Merrickman, thinks there's another version, but that might just be like a
studio
a
studio
sample,
shot. Yeah.
or a studio shot. So cool item, I guess. Again, I'll take anything.
Yeah.
This is the definition of I'll take anything.
That's pretty cool. And this was a random time here because this isn't even Mattel, right?
This is.
Or is this Jeremy? This is all cool toy. What was Jeremy's?
is Wicked Cool.
Wicked cool toy. There,
Wicked
sorry.
cool, yeah. It's
Yeah.
wicked cool.
That's
Did you
neat.
see it?
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Jeremy Padower, Wicked Cool Toys.
Wicked cool. All right. Next up, we have, this is interesting. Zack Ryder, sick. This is, I love this gear. I love this figure, actually. He's got the sunglasses hanging from the, like you're hanging the glasses from the crotch.
Yep.
It's got the sick on the back and the accurate boots. They actually did the boots accurately.
Nice.
Here,
That looks good.
which is cool. They just painted them accurately. They just kind of gave me like laceless boots and painted them the right way.
Right.
But this one actually has a running change. It's very hard to tell, but it has different heads. So one is like a smirking, and one is like a
remembering
smile.
this. Yeah.
Why do you think they did that?
I don't know. I mean, like honestly, I can't even. You can barely tell. Like if I show you guys here, like you won't even be able to know.
Wow.
Like that's how
your,
close it is.
Shane Douglas, big head, little head type situation.
Yeah. So one's doing like a side smile, and one's doing like a regular smile.
Huh.
But it is what it is.
Same boxes.
Same boxes.
You're going to the gym with
And
that
that's
headband.
that's basic series 45.
basic 45.
That's
Wow.
what it says.
So I'm in series 10 and 45.
Good lord.
So I like this figure. Not like my favorite like gear, but I try to keep every gear if they made a figure of it.
That's cool.
Like one day I
I tapped on that concept. I have just the more special ones, but
like this
Too much gear.
this gear means nothing to me. Like I'm still Zack Ryder. I'm still woo Zack Ryder, and I'm still doing the YouTube show, I believe. But this is like woo.
we've been pushed off the stage already.
I've already been pushed off the stage. That's right. I've already been pushed off the stage.
Yeah.
Next up, we still got some figures though. Guys, this is a very special one in my heart.
Uh-oh.
Unreleased. Many of you have probably never seen
Oh
this.
no. We're gonna talk about it. I forgot about this one.
The Ghostbusters basic. I can't even it's like, look at it. There it is right there. It's got like the tan look. It's got the Zack Ryder, the No Ghost logo doing the LI. The back has the No Ghost logo. I wore this gear on Raw. I got chewed out immediately in the gorilla position. Chewed out immediately in the gorilla position. Oh,
Really?
so actually, looking, the boots are inaccurate. It's the wrong boots. So if it would have come out, it would have been accurate. But I get chewed out immediately in gorilla. And the thing is, I told the people who were chewing me out, I said, Mattel knows about this. They told me to wear this. They have a relationship with Ghostbusters. They want to make this. So I don't know if like WWE put the stop to this or if like just like Mattel put the stop to this. It doesn't come out, but
Wild.
this is like legit prototype. So
Yeah.
it was going to come out.
That's crazy.
So devastating news that it didn't come out. But Bill McKenna, as much as he hates me, he was a nice guy this day and gave me this prototype.
That's cool.
So it's in like a million pieces though. Like that's why if you're looking at the video, I have it like on the stand because all the parts are like puttied together.
People are like prototypes are very fragile, guys.
They're like beyond fragile. But that would have been one of my favorite figures if it were to come out. It did not, but I still get more figures during this run, so I can't necessarily bitch. This next figure is Mishmash City. It's a Superstar entrance.
I like this one though.
it's the shirt
Walmart
that you
exclusive.
just saw, which
Yeah.
is neat.
It's the shirt I was just telling you about, the sick
Yeah.
with the WWWYKI. But this shirt and this gear was never worn 2 different years.
Right.
Like this gear right here is like the 2-pack with Ziggler's alternate color gear.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So it's like
And
totally
you were wearing
different.
that shirt on Raw during the Ghostbuster gear time.
Right.
So
it's totally different era.
Got it.
But it's toyetic.
I will say that line, obviously, there's a Walmart exclusive. They always pop to me, like the Zigglers and the pink shirts. Like they're more toyetic looking figures.
And
Also,
they
like
have-
the
they have a
cutout in the
little open-
back where you
yes.
can see the back. That's a cool feature.
Yeah.
Also, real embarrassing here. The worst broski cut of all time. You wouldn't be
would
caught
never
dead
cut a
covering
shirt
your
like
traps
that.
like
No.
that.
That obviously that picture is so photoshopped and fake.
I love, but I love this shirt. It did not sell well because it was the first ever soft t-shirt from WWE and V-neck. So it was like the 3 things that wrestling fans hate. It was a different color than black, soft, and a V-neck.
What a winner!
So I personally loved it because I felt like I could wear it out in real life,
Oh my
but the
God.
fans did not. But it got a figure. And it doesn't quite make sense. Like the V-neck looks great because it looks like the sunglasses are hanging from the V-neck. When they just put it on like this, it just looks like sunglasses on a shirt.
It does defeat the purpose. Yeah.
It defeats the purpose, but it has that sick, which is a stupid catchphrase I had at the time.
I like that, but actually, when I hear sick, I think more of Chi than you.
Well, he stole from me.
Yeah, he
Stole
stole
from
that
me.
from you for sure.
All right. Next up, man, this is another great story. This is like ultimate jabron, Zack Ryder. But this is what I never understood because Mattel would still make me figures during my ultimate jabron run.
I
But
think
then when
because
I have a
they knew you
YouTube,
appreciated it.
yeah. But
Like,
then
yeah.
when I have the podcast and I win titles of WrestleMania, I can't get a figure.
I agree that is something weird with that for sure. That's a disconnect, but yeah.
So this is Global Superstars. My boots are painted accurately. Got the long tights. The funny story about this, I was growing out. This is okay. So kind of like how I switched up my whole look from the edges. I was trying to do the same thing for Zack Ryder, right? Zack Ryder, it's not working anymore, right? I've been pushed off the stage. I get rid of the sunglasses. I get rid of the headband. I try to change my whole look. I grow my hair out, Bradley Cooper style. I wear long tights.
You also were trying to just work
so
out one side
Bradley
of your
Cooper.
body.
No, I never
and
did
not
that.
the other?
I never did that.
Oh.
But I'm just trying to be different. The problem
Is
was
this when you were drinking a gallon of milk a day?
I was a bulking. Yeah, I was bulking. The problem was I wasn't being featured on TV. So when like I would still do all the live events, right?
Yeah.
So when I'm doing these house shows and I don't look like Zack Ryder, there's a disconnect. You know what I'm saying? Like I come out with I have long hair now. That's like I've been off TV for so long. I've been able to grow my hair long time. It's like it's a weird disconnect. And then Bill McKenna, he says, "Hey, we're not making a new head sculpt." So right to the barber. Got my hair cut. I said, "Bill, I got my hair cut." And then
I mean,
they made
that's
the
great
figure.
intel that he's gonna,
Yeah.
at least
So-
smart you up to that.
So yeah, so I think I love this gear, the long tights. It's cool little era of my career. This is like I don't know. This is a lost. I'm lost in real life. I'm lost in the
tell
roster.
You one thing about Zack Ryder and long tights in 2013, 14.
Yeah, but I got a figure out of it. So
He was a big
really...
fan of William.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what he was doing.
Right, yeah.
It was a cosplay.
That's what I'm growing it out. I get to full Bradley Cooper style, hangover style.
I don't remember it flowing.
It was flowing.
It got the flowing. I don't know.
It got the flowing. So cool figure, global superstars. I believe this was a Walmart exclusive. If not,
I think you're right. Yeah,
I feel like it was. If it wasn't, I'm
global superstars from all the way in Long Island.
Long Island.
That's a real Makina hookup to put you in a set like
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
All right, the next figure we got is, I love this figure, Zack Ryder with the WWE Championship. There's a chase, but this gear I wore at WrestleMania, the pre-show, and it's kind of like an incarnation of every version of Matt or Zach up until that time. So the front has like the broski with the Ryder, right?
Yep.
The knee pads have like rated R superstar, but it says ZR instead.
Yep.
And the back says Ryder in the Major Brother font. So it's all different
about
colors.
The special feature of this figure?
Yeah, and they actually made a figure of it. I was so pumped for this.
No. The special feature that.
Oh, the special feature is you bend over, you can see my ass.
Other side, jackass.
Look at that ass.
That special feature.
For whatever reason, this is a
They didn't paint my ass.
complete botch by Mattel. They didn't paint the rest of his ass, so he wounds people when you play with it.
That's pretty great.
And it has like the darker hair. They still haven't given me a new head sculpt, which is, I'm not bitching about that. Right. They're still using the take care, spike your hair head sculpt, even though I'm not doing that anymore. But that's fine. I'll take it. It's close enough. But I absolutely love this figure. This is during my infamous feud with Adam Rose.
So infamous. Oh my God. Another thing. I couldn't tell you one thing about what you're doing.
The feud was over. They wanted him to be a rosebud, and he said no.
No. And this entire set comes with a bonus gold.
The bunny.
No, I was not. Well, maybe I was, but it comes with a bonus gold WWE Championship.
Right.
So, pretty cool. Pretty damn cool, man.
You obviously have both versions been on card in your collection, right?
I do.
Now, these are my favorite Zach and Curt figures, and I have all of these. I have every one of them in a special case.
Yeah, right. Guys, these are so rare and fragile, I was not willing to even take them out of my case.
I took mine out.
Nope.
Oh my God.
Broski, one drop, that's over.
Bro, first of all, look how they look like there's baby powder all over them.
Oh my God.
But
right?
the likeness is pretty sick, though.
Oh, no, likeness is fantastic.
Bro, you holding that figure, when you hold it back, it looks like you're holding a picture. Like you cut out a picture
That's
of you.
so you can say nice things about them. One, these are WWE Staramba figures that we were legitimately 3D scanned. I remember in the session we weren't allowed to really do many poses. There wasn't a lot of options.
Right.
I got told no a bunch, and I finally just gave up and did this one. And then they were only available through this German website in these 3 different sizes.
Now, I don't think I had the other 2 sizes. But we don't know
it was
for
a
sure.
glitch of the website or something. I don't know, but mine for sure had them all. They would come from Germany. They would take forever, and then they'd often, more times than not, be broken.
Every single one of mine that I got broke. Even this one is glued.
Right.
So the detail is so great. I wonder if I can show you guys this. You see this black on the gray boot?
Yeah.
That's the Velcro of my boot showing.
Okay, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
They did so much.
There's not an
detail.
artist taking liberties with this. This is an exact scan of what we looked like in that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's blowing my mind when you hold it, and I think people will understand when you're holding that in your hand. My mind is telling me that you are holding a picture because it literally looks like it must be like the first kind of version of a 3D print scan type of thing.
It feels like I can't even explain. It feels like a sand dollar.
What's weird to me though, Brian, is you have a jacket or vest on in your photo.
That I don't understand. Maybe that's
that would just look like some studio picture.
Maybe we took multiple poses. I don't remember.
Well, Brian, this was right before you switched to the singlet, so you were probably maybe I'll cover up.
I have no idea, but I will say this. It's in my display case. I have one mint. It came in like almost like a shoebox, the big one.
Yep.
And I have it mint and sealed in my storage unit, like not to be ever touched. And then I have one on display that's fallen over several times and broken and been glued and taped. But even then, it's nice enough where people will look at my thing like, what? They always go, what is that?
Right.
Like, what is that thing? Like,
That's what I'm saying. It messes
so
with my
odd.
head. It looks so real.
and we're also such psychopaths. Like, I feel like only Matt and I even knew these existed because, like, years later, Heath saw mine and was like, what is that? I'm like, you definitely have 3 of those, bro. And he never bought them, saw them. Nothing, you know what I mean? It's not like people can bring them to sign. There's not
And
like
if you put this on eBay, you can't find shit.
I have WWE Staramba saved for years and nothing comes up. And everyone on the roster got this at the time. Like literally, you can look it up.
There's a mojo. There's a matching mojo, which technically I should count, but I won't because I hate Hypos.
But here's the thing too, though. You guessed that maybe they were made to order, right?
You know what? You could be correct in that, and then there's got to be ones that just
Never
don't
were
exist,
made.
right?
You guys
Wow,
actually
that's-
could be the
I never even
highest
thought about
selling,
I know. Yeah.
the highest selling Staramba on the roster.
You know what? It would make a lot of sense that they're made to order.
Yeah, because they came in like generic WWE shoebox looking things. Like it wasn't like the Curt Hawkins box or anything. You know what I mean?
And they're so fragile. It looks like something that is made like a 3D print.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 100% 3D.
And maybe that's why there was no other sizes of Matt, because you never bought them.
No. I remember, like, I am a psycho with all my merch. There must have been a
Same.
reason why I didn't buy it.
Like when you went to order mine on the website, from what I remember, like the drop down thing had 3 different sizes. So I would load the cart up with all the sizes. Matt's drop down didn't offer all the sizes, like it was a glitch or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he's not wrong.
And maybe later they added it, and I don't know about it. I don't know, but
They're pretty
I mean,
cool.
It's not like
glad I
anybody
have
else
all-
has a small one to show me.
I'm
I would
glad I have
love
them
to
all.
know if anybody watching this owns either one of these in the comments. And
I would love that.
I would be very interested to know.
Nobody's ever admitted to it. No major market has ever admitted to it over the years, so I doubt it. But
That's also
Wow.
true, right? Oh, damn.
yeah.
All right.
Hey, broski, I thought you said this was a party.
It is. Major PBR forever. Now, Brian, I know you're jealous of this. Surf's Up 2.
Oh, yeah.
Surf's
That
Up
one's
2.
just a dagger through my heart.
This, I'm not in this movie. I wish I was. But they just include generic superstars with this, but it counts, baby.
Yeah, and that's sealed, right? Like
It's sealed.
Got the plastic around
It's
it.
sealed.
Yeah.
Surf's Up 2
And there's
Wave
this
Mania.
WWE superstar action figure. That's how generic that is.
Collect them all.
And they just randomly threw in
Yeah, there's definitely ones with like Heath,
basic.
like 3MB Heath and stuff, and
Listen,
whatever.
it's not something I'm going to display, but I'll keep it.
I would
If was-
display
if
the
I-
F
no.
out of that.
No,
Yeah.
if I was in the movie, I would, but I'm not in the movie,
Right.
so I'm not going to display that. Next up, one of my, if not my favorite figure of all time,
Great figure, yeah.
Zack Ryder. This is from my WrestleMania 32. I added the Intercontinental title to mine. Why the fuck not? It's my collection. But for a basic, they nailed the deco. Like you
You've
can't
been
really tell.
complaining
but
this whole goddamn video. So for you to say that,
all the little like ZRs inside on the side, on the wrist, on the back of the knee pads, the Zack Daddy. Got my boots right there, the purple and black boots. New sculpt with the beard. Bro, I was so happy when this came out. Obviously, winning the Intercontinental title, great moment. It comes with a Slammy, bonus Slammy included. There's also a running change.
which is cool
with
because
the
you've
new
actually won a
elbows.
Slammy. It's not like that weird world title that no one's won.
I did win a Slammy, not in this era.
Multiple
but I-
Slammies.
But still,
Yeah.
cool.
There's also a change with different elbows. You can't really tell. You have to be real psycho to pick it out. It's something
You have them all, right?
I have them all. I didn't know about it till years later, to be honest. But I love this figure. I wish it was an elite, but beggars can't be choosers. You know what I'm saying? I love it. Zack Ryder, IC title. Man, I have this displayed in my collection next to a basic Razor Ramon from WrestleMania 10 when he won the ladder match. And I got the Austin, because Austin talks, this is such a stupid moment, but Austin pulls me aside after this match and they make a figure of it in the Dallas 316 shirt.
Oh, that's cool.
So whatever. Cool moment. I added the title to it, but Zack Daddy, baby. I love it. One of my favorite figures. Next up, man, the hits keep on coming, baby.
Oh, boy.
Funko. Yoko, who she was hooking me up over there at Funko. Again, the WrestleMania gear. Again, my first ever Funko. There's the New York Comic Con exclusive into the fall convention that they sold at FYE's.
You're in hard on Funkos at this point?
I'm so hard in that they're like, do me a favor, sneaking me into this line.
That's cool.
What
does 44 mean? Is that series WWE series 44?
I'm just number 44 in the WWE series.
44th WWE figure, right?
Wow, cool.
My only complaint, like my boots, like they put the straps all the way around, which is not accurate.
Oh,
Yeah.
that looks funny. Yeah.
But you can't really tell in package.
Yeah, nobody
but I
ever sees
love this. One regret, and you ever see like at Comic Cons or even at Funko HQ, they have like the giant Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Like they offered to make one of me, I would have to buy it. It was $10,000. I turned them down. I wish I could have done it.
Yeah, now you would do that, no question, right?
I wish I would have done it.
Have a 1-of-1 giant Funko in your room?
Like those giant ones you see at the conventions.
I know, but man. But what do you do with that?
Put it in your
on display.
freaking bar.
I don't know.
I mean, what do you do with it? You built
I
your
also
whole room around it.
Fortunate enough to have
That's cool.
a lot of the prototypes.
That's really
So
cool.
I like this is like one of the only toy companies that gets my hair like perfect.
Perfect.
So perfect. Like I love it. I absolutely love it. So great. So cool. Next up, God, this is a big boy. The 1 of 500 Funko HQ. I got it right here in the green. Very, very rare.
I'm just
Super
realizing,
cool.
This is Hype Bros gear?
I think no, I don't think so.
No.
No. And if no, I don't think so. This is Zack Ryder stuff. Zack Daddy. I think this is post winning IC title gear.
Okay.
Yeah. Before the Hype Bros start in the main roster.
Okay.
So it has the Zack Ryder on the back. Very, very rare figure. Only 500. If someone brings one of these to me at a convention, I stop everything.
Broski gets very excited to sign
I make a
these.
production out of it.
Yeah.
Again, this was during the Sharpie era. So at Funko HQ, it was me and the New Day. New Day was signing their 3-pack that had been out. And I'm signing this, but this is not, I'm sure paint pens are invented, but it's not popular in the biz.
People weren't bringing them, yeah.
No, so a lot of the ones I sign now, you could tell that people removed the Sharpie signature, which I find interesting. So, pretty damn cool, man. Next up, we got, oh, God.
This is my favorite Zack Ryder figure.
Oh, man, everyone's favorite. Timeless. Historic.
I will say this.
Legendary.
At least we got a 2-pack. At least, the agony, the years taken off my career in life weren't for nothing. We got a 2-pack out of it. Hype Bros.
This is Dean's first figure, too, correct?
First time in the line, it says.
Yeah. Wow.
Knee pads say bro me. Bro me.
That got taken away, right?
No, never.
Oh, I thought you
Never.
were allowed to say bro.
No. Bro me. And then the back, little Zack Down Live.
Nice.
So I love this gear. It's a very toyetic figure.
I would love to have been a fly on the wall during the initial Broski and Mojo like pitch meetings they were having. Like, hey,
Arguing
maybe we
over
should.
gear and
Maybe we
moves.
should wear green. Yeah.
That's probably insane.
Maybe you come out crazy. I'll follow you.
Yeah.
Boots are inaccurate. They paint the straps on my boots the wrong colors. So they should be like black straps, not silver.
Yeah.
And then same thing should be silver, not black. But hey, we got figures. It is what it is. I can't complain. Happy to at least get figures out of the Hype
Nice
Bro
looking
run.
2-pack.
Yes. Next figure kind of blew my mind. All right. I'm at San Diego Comic-Con, I believe. Or maybe it was it Comic-Con? Yeah, it was a Comic-Con. And then they just show me like, hey, we're going to make you this Elite figure. the USA. I was like, what? They're going to make this? Incredible figure. It's got the the shooting ZRs on the back. I love this figure. I absolutely love it.
When did you wear that and what was going on?
One time. This is the night of the Hype Bros debut on the main roster. I wrestle Rusev for the U.S. title. And then Mojo does a run-in afterwards to Crickets.
On a pay-per-view, right?
On a pay-per-view.
Or premium live event, I believe.
Yeah.
Wait. You were debuting as a tag team but did a singles match?
Because they were only the Hype Bros in NXT.
Okay.
Right.
And like WWE was a whole different world. Like Broski was doing his own thing.
Okay.
And
Oh,
then
right.
They made it
So
on
why
the
did you get a
roster.
shot at the title?
Because I'm still, like, I win the IC title while I'm the Hype Bros.
Right.
Now I wrestle for the U.S. title. As technically, I'm still Hype Bros in NXT.
Wow.
But by this point, though, I'm hoping it's over. Like, because now the singles run's working. They let me change my music. Things are cooking.
So you just get a random title shot at a pay-per-view.
Yeah, and
you
I'm thinking
lose.
things are great.
Yeah.
Competitive match with Rusev at the pay-per-view.
I don't know, but competitive's a little.
It was pretty competitive. It's pretty competitive.
I don't remember that.
And once you watch it again on Peacock. And then Mojo comes out and ruins it. But
Crickets, Brian.
I've since, I bought the prototype online, through all those weird eBay sellers. I also have, I can't tell. We'll never know if this is either the Hype Bros or the WrestleMania Basic.
Oh yeah, I guess
There's no way to really tell.
Yeah,
But I'm going to pretend it's the WrestleMania Basic.
that's Vladimir Kozlov's gear. So
And let's take note with this, the Schamberger artwork that comes with these figures.
I thought it
Incredible.
was a nice touch for those. It's added value. The stand and that goes in the backdrop. It's pretty cool.
One thing that did make me mad, though, is that when I first saw the picture of the Zack Ryder USA, it had the ZR on the boots, which was removed because it's black on black, so I guess it's hard to see.
Right.
It's on the sample or the prototype image, but then when we get it, it's gone.
I
Erased.
feel like that's a tough detail to justify.
I get it.
Yeah.
But I love this gear because they make other Elite figures because I steal the trunks from Warrior. I steal the glasses from Macho. The jacket is Sting inspired. So it's like all three of my favorites in USA gear. now I'm paying tribute to that, and I get the figure. USA,
And
baby.
if Broski signs it for you, he'll give it the Jimmy Duggan treatment.
I do. The red, white, blue SIG.
Yeah.
I do.
Very classy.
Next up, back in the line. He's back, Jack.
What this one did, and we've discussed in detail, it had a first time in the line thing, and I have like a one that slipped through the cracks. And if you ever see a Min on Card One in person, you could see that it's like got that like preparation where it was like ripped off on all of them. So Curt Hawkins, first time ever getting Elite. Frick, I love this figure, both versions. Mattel was cool enough to make a chase with the black. I just adore it. I know Bill was very concerned about me being able to sell, so I have like a lot of added value. I have the vest, the cane. This is the beginning of the multiple hand era, and I also come with a giant Raw wall that you can smash me through. It's supposed to depict the time that Braun Strowman threw me through the Raw set. So yeah, like I said, you put over 100, 200 and something people. I felt this is one of those things that kind of made me feel like it was all worth it, and it's just such a nice figure. I have it on display here like this. I pose this one with the Raw title. Matt and I would eventually win, and that one right there.
I love that you get the chase out of it too. You wait so long and then you get rewarded.
That's what I'm saying.
with
It
two.
felt like a reward, Bret Hart inspired gear, the chase one for sure.
Oh, I never realized that the gear is totally different too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And
I don't
then
know if I
actually
have
over
the
the
chase.
years, this is a really strange, like hand painted prototype that Mattel gifted me. I believe at one Comic-Con or something. Or maybe a Mania Access. The
wow.
head is like so small. Like a lot of things changed. I told Bill actually, I don't wear elbow pads anymore to please remove them. So he was kind enough to do that in the final one. So a lot of the prototypes and like the renders have elbow pads, which I don't have anymore. Here's a test shot that I secured on eBay.
That's cool.
Very cool piece.
Now you also asked Bill to add the tattoos, right?
Well, at the time it's just a Mackenzie tattoo, and I was
Right.
very adamant about it because you can see here, doesn't have it, and then the final product does have it.
And it's not completely accurate, but whatever.
No, that one's
No, but I mean, like, it's not accurate to that gear that you're wearing.
technically the regular version. I didn't have the Mackenzie tattoo yet. I don't think I ever wore this.
That's
I also
fine,
don't think I ever wore this without elbow pads. Because I was right when I stopped doing that. But I mean, I don't think any of that matters.
No.
This one is a little more. The chase is a little more accurate. But man, I think the likeness and, like I said, the added
I love
value and it's just pretty awesome. So
Yeah, I remember
Love,
we
love,
were
love
at
that figure.
WrestleMania Access when he showed that off for the first time.
that's 100%.
And that's when he gave me a piece of paper and he showed me my retro.
Yes. I think that's where this weird hand painted one is from. It's like doesn't have all the decal like on the side, like some of the letters of I don't know. I never saw them. Like I don't know where
Right.
they went. Like it's like these are all like decals. It's like this is a very fragile like.
And worth noting that you say WrestleMania Access. This is the year that the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast gets launched in August.
You're right.
So it hasn't launched yet.
No.
Wow.
'Cause
And we're still just
this
as buddies. Maybe we're doing Figure It Out.
Yeah, we're doing all. We're still the guys that anytime Mattel's working with WWE, they ask us to do stuff. You know.
Okay.
This figure comes out fall 2018. We start summer 2018.
Got
for
it.
sure.
So I'm also shown that day retro, and I'm so happy to be in the line. Listen, now I love the figure. At the time, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Such a weird.
Because this
I
is
forgot
legit.
about that.
This is legit the piece of paper they hand me. I'm like, what is this? It's clearly my Mattel my Mattel basic head on this body. And I'm like, what? Like, because at the time, retros are either like really retro or like current day. So like,
Such a weird thing to pick.
I would have done like one-legged tights if we're going to go retro.
2010 nothing Zack Ryder.
Right.
It's just a weird thing to depict.
It finally ends up coming out that year at Comic-Con.
Do you remember why the action feature changed?
No, I'm glad it did. It's doing kind of like the woo.
Yeah, I
woo,
agree. Yeah, it's cool.
woo.
It's cooler.
See it?
It's great.
I love it. Very generic. Like it literally has Ryder on the trunks, ZR, nothing on the ass. It should have a license plate.
Right.
I just realized till now it has nothing on the ass, to be honest.
Wow.
Still a retro. It's not
Still a
supposed to be
retro.
a highly detailed thing.
I love it. I have the test shot, of course. This is all stuff I got on eBay after the fact. Mattel did not give this to me. Funny story, though. There was a hand-painted prototype at Comic-Con, and they would not give it to me. So I kind of like told John Cena the story. He's like, "Oh, I'll go over and I'll make sure they give it to you." So he went over and talked to the Mattel guys. Like, "Oh, don't worry, John. We'll give it to him." They never did. They lied to John Cena.
Man. Lie to
They
John
lied to
Cena's
John Cena.
face.
You can't do that.
Unbelievable.
But I love this figure. It's so cool. Like
It's a privilege, right? To
it's a
get
privilege.
something like that.
Yeah. And
I think the Mattel guys knew how much it would mean to you.
Of course,
For sure.
because I did not deserve one based on my TV time. I think at the time I'm in the middle of not being on Raw for a whole calendar year.
Yeah, I was gonna say you literally couldn't be doing less. This might be the less you've done. In the moment that figure's decided, it's the least you're accomplishing in the
Right,
WWE career.
right.
Yeah.
Which makes it even more head scratching that we don't get WrestleMania figures later on. But I digress. Great figure, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm honored to be in the retro line 100%. So I totally dig it. So
how many
next
of
up,
those did you buy from Ringside Collectibles?
but I still have some.
I was gonna say you still.
There was like an epic sale at the end there
Still
for
have
$5, and
Yeah.
Broski bought hundreds,
Broski bought
right?
it, that's what I'm saying.
Still
Use
have
discount code Major though and save 10%, right?
That's right.
Okay. Whew.
Next up, here it is.
Oh man.
This
I was there.
is, we think we're going to get WrestleMania 35 figures, but we're gifted these Ghostbuster figures. Listen, they're cool. They're fine. They're one of ones. They do actually say Hawkins and Ryder
Wait,
on the
Brian, I thought you sold yours.
I honestly, bro, I was just looking for it. I was like, did I sell it? Well, I guess I kept it. It's in a bin.
So
I don't display it.
It has the Ryder and Hawkins. So that's why I count it
and
as
it's
one
a
of
real
ones.
soft goods thing. Like it's not like I don't know. Like I'm impressed by it.
So I love it because I'm a Ghostbuster fan.
Somebody made it.
Right. It was cool. And, do you have the trap that it came with, or did I take the
Yeah,
trap?
I have the trap. It's in a bag.
Yeah. So I have this proudly on display, of course, but this is not a real figure. It's not a real figure. It's cool, but it's not a real
It
figure.
was like a thank you for hosting the panel that year.
And we're sorry that we
Very
don't
nice-
have new figures.
Very
of
nice
you.
gesture, but I'm not a Ghostbuster fan. It means nothing to me, really, at the end of the day, unfortunately.
I mean, because really, the last depiction of me in WWE is a hype bro. Like, I don't have a current figure, so that hype bro gear is 2017. I get fired in 2020.
Right.
I don't have a figure from 2017 to 2020.
That's
what
a
I'm saying,
current. Yeah.
depicting that era.
Yeah. Wow.
Next up, we have this. It's unreleased. WWE Micromaniacs.
Man, I forgot about this. This is another Jeremy Padower.
I have the prototype.
Wicked cool toy endeavor
Whoa.
here. Yeah.
I had the really cool,
He
almost like a
showed this
rumbler.
to me, Mark, and Vinny at a toy fair, I believe, that we vlogged.
It's
Right.
almost like a rumbler.
Yep.
Again, Jeremy was squeezing me into the line, so I appreciate that. But never comes out. But I have the prototype. So there it is doing the LI. I like these things. I like them. But
What could have been?
what could have been? Could have, would have, should have, but didn't. Next up. Oh, here we go. You think you know me.
What a way to go out.
What a way to go out. Guys, Brian was giving me so much. Everyone was giving me shit. I was pitching it for years.
We're legends, bro.
But I was pitching it Edge because they had just started doing the interchangeable heads, right?
Yep.
So think about it. Edge with a Hawkins head, a Ryder head. Here's Edge heads. And then it finally comes out. It finally is the real deal. You got to buy 3 of them. That was the selling point to me. You got to buy all 3.
You got to buy 3 to make that. I think that's genius way to push figures, right?
So Brian,
I believe Ringside went through a couple orders of these. Like these came in and
look,
few
I finally get the beanie after all this time.
he
I love
finished
that.
the story, folks.
Screaming
Redemption.
head, the beanie. I love it. Now, there's a change with the hair. I have like very blonde hair. We all have very blonde hair. Brian, which one do you have in your hand
I
right
have
now?
the running change here, the more accurate. This is one I do like better with like kind of the textured kind of features to our hair. Where
It is really nice, actually.
Yeah,
I
it's
never got
fantastic.
that.
What?
I only had so all I have is the signed version from High Spots. I actually sold my loose ones on Whatnot in the Whatnot
The
days.
High Spots one I have on display. It's one of my favorite things. Sorry, but
Yeah, I mean, look at the package here. It's Edge with his Edge heads. But look, we're on the side, fully on the side, and fully on the back. We had a complaint to WWE about getting paid for this.
and I still think it never happened.
No, we got paid, but it was like chump change.
Really? I don't.
Yeah, we got paid. But because technically it's an Edge figure, but I'm like, what about us?
I mean, our names and likenesses are all over the thing. Like
All over the
names, at
thing.
least. I mean,
The coolest thing to me, in my opinion, about this 3-pack is that you open it up, we come out of the fist.
Yeah.
right.
A little backdrop here.
And for those of you going, what the heck? Why do you have all the tattoos? We wore the Edge tattoos for a couple times when we started, the run.
I did not wear the beanie with the tattoos, but that's fine.
Right.
Now, there is a little rumor. We have no confirmation of this. Is that I was supposed to come out first in the Decade of Domination with a Brian head. That's what the original idea is. So I have and now Brian has like a chin strap. Like I have all this stuff.
That's a scary looking.
Brian, did I give you that head?
Maybe. I mean, I have like a bin of so much prototypes throughout my career and like, I mean, I was just digging through it. It's wild.
So it would have been, now this is what we hear, a Zack Ryder with tag team title. Now, I got this on eBay. So
Right.
who's, I don't know.
That's crazy. I don't even remember you talking about that in the podcast.
Yeah. So
Decade
that would
of
have been cool.
Domination, which is a very short-lived Mattel line.
Yeah.
So listen, I love this figure. Really, really cool. Would have been really sweet if I still want to sign Legends deals and have Ringside do like the From the Vault of Hawkins and Ryder Edgehead solo.
And their single releases.
Single
I would love that.
releases.
That it would be a dream come true. But
Yeah.
all things aside, we literally have flashback Legends figures. So, when we're under 40, that's pretty epic in my opinion.
I mean, we had flashback figures while we were still working. Well, technically, it's announced while we're still working for the company.
Right. It comes out when
While
we
we're
are
fired.
fired. Yes. But
So
I'll be forever grateful of this run and proud of this figure.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
Sure. It's so cool to me.
And how poetic that our first ever figures from WWE are Edgeheads, and our last ever figures are Edgeheads.
For now.
So, for now. We debut May 2007. We get fired April 2020. Hell of a run. A lot of figures, but we were able to sneak a couple Hawkins and Ryders in after the fact. But before that, let's talk about some figures that almost happened before we got fired. Brian, I'll let you tell the story here.
Here we go. Plugged into a lineup. Surface picture here. Basic, I can tell you, but that's what it was.
112,
be.
I believe I saw.
Right.
Am I nuts?
I believe I was replaced by a Bobby Lashley figure, but I was plugged in, ready to come out. The regular release is the Mets colors, and then the chase was going to be finally, after all his bitching and moaning and complaining, Matt Cardona was going to get his WrestleMania 35 wrestling figures, man.
Yeah, we were finally going to get him way
This is
too
also
late.
like not to say that I wouldn't have wanted this to happen. Trust me, I would have taken what I could have got. But this is like maybe the worst era of basics there is. Like, even though basics have been fixed now, they've been kind of saved. But this is during the minimum deco, minimum articulation era. I mean, there's no way I wore. Look at the boots on that Mets one.
Right.
Clearly missing deco hits and stuff. But
It would have been great to get him, though.
of course.
And this was very close to coming out because when you go by the numbers, okay, so this was Basic Series 112. And you guys were released on the same day that Rowan was, correct?
Yeah.
And Rowan comes out in Series 111.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember at the time going, "Damn, man!" Like they
Yeah.
couldn't have been closer. I'm actually shocked. Like at least test shots have never surfaced, to be honest with you. And I would love that because that's an all new head. That's like the most exciting thing for me.
Right.
And we don't have images of mine because I got cut, but I never re-signed my contract. So what WWE does, or they let Mattel know like who has re-signed and who hasn't.
There's like a pretty strict, like I would say 6-month window.
Yeah, so since I didn't resign, I was cut before they even. I don't know if there are any photos out there. If there are, I don't have them. But this was the gear I was told I was supposed to be in, the WrestleMania, and also in Ghostbuster gear, Ghostbuster inspired gear. So it would have been fucking awesome, but got fired, but didn't resign before. But it wasn't like I'm not signing. We were still negotiating, and it was such a pain. It was so stressful because now I'm saying to like Mark Carano, but can we fucking sign this already? They already fucking pulled my Mattel figure, and he's like, "What? No, they didn't." I'm like, "I'm telling you, they did." He's like, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "I fucking know."
Well, and that's just business. It makes sense. Like, why would Mattel, go through this year-long process of something for it to just be a waste of money?
Right. So maybe one day, but for now, not gonna get them. So, but yeah, like I said, we were able to sneak some figures in after the fact.
Aye.
Major moments, baby. Now it's technically, Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, but that is the WrestleMania gear. It's a major moment. Legally it's Matt and Brian, but we all know what it is.
I mean, and we've both made Matt and Brian gear like this since, correct?
Right. So, mine has the still major on the butt. Now, this is when we were doing like pure bootleg style ringside figures. So that's why there's not any detail at all. Yeah, initially, it was going to come out wearing the mask.
Right.
But then we get fired. We're like, oh, let's do it without the mask.
Right.
So the mask is still included. The masks are included because we were making some figures while in WWE. But obviously, we couldn't make our likeness. So we're wearing the mask to kind of hide it. But it was us all along. So the major moment. And that's not all. Through Pro Wrestling Tees and Micro Brawlers, there is Ryder and Hawkins. So these still kind of count, in my opinion. Do you count them, Brian?
Yeah, of course. If you're trying to be a WWE era completist, for sure.
I love mine. Has the accurate for the first time, accurate purple, the Ryder on the butt. And the variants are the Major brothers. They say Ryder and Hawkins, but it's Brett and Brian Major. Don't tell anybody from WWE about that.
Yeah, don't tell him. Don't tell him he tells you this.
Now, there are also special... Brian, do you even have your prototype, your one of one?
Dude, so funny you say that. I signed it last weekend.
What?
Someone brought it to me. Yeah.
You didn't try to buy it?
Nah.
What?
It's cool and all, but
I bought mine right there.
too rich for my blood.
How much was it?
I didn't even want to get into it with Brian. I said, that's awesome. Congrats. I signed it.
I got mine, pal.
To me, it's a prototype, so like I don't need it to be complete.
It was released.
Yeah, but it's a prototype.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Mine's
blue, by the way, too.
It was randomly inserted in crates.
Yeah, the person told me they literally got it in the crate. And
So it was released.
Come on.
Bro, it was released. Mark, back me up here. It was released.
I agree.
You guys are crazy.
D, is that it for the figures? That's it. We got them all.
I think we did it.
Man, that was a long episode, guys. Thank you so much. It was worth the wait, I hope. Brian, what do you think? What's your favorite Curt and what's your favorite Zach? And I'll tell you my favorite Curt and Zach.
Oh, man, we're lumping Jax and Mattel together.
Let's lump them together.
Well, I'll go first because I know mine is the Hype Bros.
Fuck
Zach,
off.
and the Squinkies Brian.
Squinkies Brian was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the jerk off action Zack Ryder because it's so accurate.
Yeah.
And then
Stop.
I don't know, man. Man, it's so tough. Obviously, I just want to let everyone know how grateful I am, for all these over the years, and some of them I just think are so great. I'm gonna just say the Elite, maybe because of what that run was and what it meant to me. Like truly, like never giving up on yourself and having a positive attitude. Even though you're losing matches every night and stuff, and then to finally get that, and that Bill not think that it would sell, and people were very excited about it. It sold very well. There's a lot of points of pride that come with it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite Curt Hawkins. And then my favorite Zach is, I think it's got to be, even though it's a basic, the WrestleMania 32 with all the deco hits and what the match represents. Definitely that's my favorite one for sure. And maybe we'll get an Elite one day. Flashback Elite. You never know.
You never know.
WrestleMania title win for sure.
I'm like thinking if they're making Sandman figures, and it's possible. No shot at Hack. I love Hack, but I feel like that makes it possible for like anybody, right?
Oh, you have to believe that there's going to be at some point, right? I'm sorry to this is just fantasy, but there's got to be an ultimate Zack Ryder 2011 at some point in the world, right?
Right. I mean, yeah.
With flip cam?
It's possible, right?
Yeah. I mean,
You never know.
I don't see.
Ringside exclusive.
I don't see how that would be that far fetched. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, listen, we're going to bring you the incarnation of domination, Matt and Brian, eventually, because believe it or not, we're very proactive in our careers. We have our own toy line. There might be more Matt and Brian's than there are Zach and Curt's.
Really awesome toyetic stuff, too. And a lot of backstory about how it all got made.
So you'll get the ins and outs of all that coming up probably sometime later this year or early next year.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, guys, we're finally, for this episode, we're out of time.
We did it.
We did it.
1, 2, 3. I'll be back, Jack.
Join the community at MajorMarks.com and get access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes footage, and become a member of the Major family.
You get bonus episodes on our careers, wrestling figure history, and exclusive interviews with our friends and legends in the business each month.
You also get early access to YouTube videos and, of course, the weekly podcast ad-free and breaking news updates.
Brand new shows featuring
Oh, baby.
and you. Each month, you can interview someone in the wrestling business with the Captain's Log.
Also, buy, sell, and trade in our exclusive Facebook community where people have become friends in real life.
Certain memberships include merch like monthly trading cards and quarterly mystery gifts.
Become a Major Mark and join MajorMarks.com today.